And we're going. Hi. Everybody's gonna stay quiet?
Hello.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
normally you do a bit of an intro,
Well,
so I
I
was
counted
staying
everybody
quiet to let you
down so that
do it.
way we could all be like, hi. But nobody was just like, hi. Or just was like, go forward,
Why did I
Eric, be
just
brave.
randomly-
And then everyone sat there quiet.
We need to be told that, Eric. We're not very good.
Communication.
Why did I just randomly
Communication.
earn 1,000 fucking channel points? What the fuck?
Come on.
Anyways,
What?
we're all back for more Star Wars D&D.
Yeah.
I want to take a nap.
You had time earlier. Maybe. I don't
Not
actually
that
know.
kind of nap.
An
Dirt nap?
in-game nap, I see.
Yes, an
So-
in-game nap. Thank you, Eric.
Good note.
We had a
With
short
that,
rest.
I
Some
will
nap.
open back up with this recap. That last session, all of you managed to, after getting out of the elevator that you all so precariously took down in such an interesting manner, arrived on one of the floors, however, finding out pretty quickly that you were just a little bit too low. Trying to walk around, you approached a rather interesting lady who informed you of multiple elevators, of which none you took, and decided it was rather unreliable information. Which was odd, because this lady was rather trustworthy, I like to think.
Yeah.
But shortly afterwards, you found a guide, who still remains nameless, who, with some prodding and asking, gave you a bit of a way up, helped you get to the floor you were looking for previously. Arriving on this floor after some walking around, getting some food after mild starvation, you managed to locate where you thought was running the floor and confirmed that this man did indeed have the young Twi'lek you were all looking for at the same location. Sorsha managed to make it a rather a copious amount of money with some of the betting on fighting, and you all agreed with a combination of blackmail on people and a job to trade that in for the Twi'lek kid. Heading to the water plant, which was being plagued with difficulties and deaths, you managed to investigate, walk around until you were realizing you were getting bugged by something that wasn't there, it seemed, half the time, or in this case, invisible. Johnny quickly realized after finding one of the scales that you were dealing with a pack of Molrus, I think that's correct on saying, in which the ensuing combat took a while due to a particularly tricky part of hunting something that's invisible. And all was going well until the alpha of the pack made itself known in a rather sudden manner. But despite all this, and a rather hardy battle, you all managed to come out victorious and decided to take a nap on the roof because it was not pleasant. And we will come to, at the end of this short rest in particular, Sorsha and Eva waking up from some bad dreams, and everyone else overall all right.
There were a few hairy figures in those dreams.
Many hairy figures.
You.
So small, but so furious.
In case you need the reminder, Eric, just to point out for Chani, left Mortimer on the speedster that you brought down.
Uh-huh.
Now I'll open it back up to you.
Well, we're doing a short rest. I think that we were told that the individual will be back in like 5 hours, so. And
We have a few hours to kill up here.
we more or less went through most of the facility before combat, didn't we? Like,
You
wasn't
made it
much
into
to
the
it.
front of a building on the complex
Oh, so
before
there's
things kind
a
of
bunch
kicked off.
Yeah, we have.
It's a water treatment plant for a large sector. There's going to be a lot of buildings
Gotcha.
working for it all.
So did we get all the creatures, or are there more creatures?
As far as we know, they're dead. And we've been sitting here for at least an hour, so they've been dead. Or they're just not coming over.
Well, I was thinking maybe each building could have different monsters.
Fair. But as an out-of-character thing, a short rest takes an hour, minimum. So if anything were here, that hour would have let us know that it is here.
Touche.
Okay, so
Possibly so.
Possibility for different things are
Possibly,
staying
yeah.
inside.
okay, kind of finding her strength to move again after being almost pounced to death. Johnny's going to look around to the group and go, okay, so do we want to explore the rest of this area, or do we just want to wait and say we're done? Because I don't know about any of you, but I can't deal with another double-digit squadron of invisible tiger things.
You think your ribs might be cracked, Johnny?
Don't remind me, voice in my head.
There's part of me that says yes to go look around and maybe take things, and there's another part that says no.
The only thing I'm interested in looking at is that speeder.
Johnny will get onto her data pad and see what Mortimer sees. If I can.
Mortimer is sitting under his seat on the bike, on the bottom of the seat, the bottom side of it.
Okay. Hey, Jaren. There.
What?
You said you wanted to see the
You
speeder.
you see an odd visions of, it looks like chairs, but they're upside down, and you're looking at the underside of them all.
What am I looking at here?
The speeder.
The world is upside down. I don't understand.
It's the little dragonfly thing that I play with every now and then.
Oh, I see.
Indeed you do. There's a screen for it.
Do I remember him getting hit in the head during this combat?
Yeah,
Ah,
got clubbed once.
it might be a concussion.
And bonked a bunch. I got knocked down to nearly dead. But anyway. Is it operable or fucked? That's the question.
It's fine.
How far away is it?
Some distance, but within range.
Could we get there before the next, I don't know, 4 hours is up?
If you wanted to walk back,
I just want to get a closer look at it. I'm not worried about it right now. You know my plan for this crap.
okay. But that's doing its thing, and they'll be here to pick us up in who knows how long. So we all
You
just...
guys have only
Sorcha.
been there for totaling maybe an hour and a half now. You
Sorcha's
poked the
gonna
metaphorical bear pretty quick.
So she's gonna sit up and she's gonna stretch, and she's like, "Honestly, I'm in for anything, but I just don't want to die today."
That's, by definition, part of the job, yeah?
Today is not a good day to die.
I mean, it might be. I just don't want to.
I gotta say
So,
that
what's...
was kind of rough.
Go ahead.
Go on, Matt.
Nope. If you guys are talking, you can continue.
Well, I'm just vamping to fill time until...
I was just gonna ask, do you guys wish to wait? What's the plan?
It looks like waiting is the agreed upon thing here.
I'm gonna
No,
wait.
no one wants to go into the building, it seems, so.
Fair enough. So, looking at the time you guys got there... Traveled... It'll probably be late evening before you start to hear the hum of the speedster in the distance. Until eventually the gates pull back open and it's the same burly brick, which describes his appearance and personality quite well. Pulling up in it. Mortner can see his legs. So you know it's the same one at least.
Well, it looks like that's our ride.
Yeah, let's.
He's just sitting down in the lobby. Well, lobby-ish. Pull-up area.
Let's go say that this is, I guess, a job done and deal with getting your kid back.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody heading down then?
Heck. Yes.
I'm taking my cat head and trophies.
No, we want him to drive it. No, we want him to drive it up there to us.
He's sitting there looking at you guys a bit odd. Tilt just said, just looking at you kind of odd that you're all just sitting on a building.
Buildings are safe.
It was the
Killed
safest
him.
place.
Yeah, I'm just going down there and getting on the thing with a fucking scaly cat head and trophies, fucking adorning my belt and bandolier and whatever else I have to fucking hold shit.
Well, I guess
Okay.
he's going to be our proof then. That's good.
Do we want to take the big one instead?
That's the head I have.
No, well, that's not the one that you killed.
No, but he did say he went over to it and cut its head off.
I thought last time he said he went to cut its head off and then just dropped the sword and passed out.
I would have cut its head off in the fucking hour.
In however many
Or
hours he's
half
got
hour.
it taken care of.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys had a good a total of like 5 hours.
because this is the bigger one, so it's good proof of, hey, I killed this thing. Or we killed it.
I would say that adds a lot of weight to you. That was a big cat.
Well, it's sitting over there now.
One way or
He's only
another,
going to carry it in
it's
small
all
increments.
taken care of. Let's get on the car and go.
All right, loading up. You'll just look and job done.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Unless you know of 12 more invisible cats.
I didn't know of one invisible cat as he just turns the ignition on. Not my job. And starts driving you back. Again, another 20-ish minutes going through some of the open I hesitate to call them service tunnels. They're kind of like the transport, what would be the transport tunnels that started this. Same as before, going right back up, and eventually you pull up a similar floor. And he'll get out and wait on all of you to slowly pile out or quickly pile out.
I grabbed the head and walked to where we were supposed to go.
You're covered in blood, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. He
Right
doesn't
now,
care.
I think everyone's max speed is injured.
Sorsha's pretty okay.
We'll get to that.
I'm fine.
I'm back up to full. I have the force to heal.
Fair. With
I'm-
everybody
I'm just
piling
about
out,
full.
he's just gonna walk off.
He's a ball of sunshine.
Totally.
We're gonna be best friends.
Yeah, any of you adverse to me just dropping this massive head at the dude's feet and going, here, done.
I mean, you do what you want, man.
Don't give me that leeway.
He doesn't get that leeway until after the job's done. And we have a way out. Then he can do what he wants.
Touche.
Which, by the way, should probably get back up, get the kid to the Sith up top, and if you want to do anything else, then come back. Mission
So heading
first.
back.
Mission first, then other things.
Yeah, I'm just carrying the cat head to where the dude is. I'm just gonna go
Okay,
ahead
it's a bit of a walk from there. The guy didn't bother showing you where you were. He just basically left you there, but you guys all recognize well enough. It wasn't a far walk. Heading back in, you get waved through one of the doors, one of the side doors, effectively. Although you still have to walk through a bit of the crowd, and they're all giving you a really big berth, as this is an image. It definitely presents an image. Very few people are prepared for what you guys are walking through as, looking like and with.
What's
battered,
matter
covered in
the way I
blood,
look?
carrying a fucking head.
And soon enough, you get up there. Security doesn't even bother stopping you. They obviously remember you from the less than, like, maybe 5 hours ago it was. So, not long. And as you get up there, he's just sitting there, hand in chin.
And he
You
gets a
look
cat
like
head.
shit. Doesn't react to it, just, you look like shit.
We feel like shit.
Job done.
You don't
get the
look
kid.
too much better yourself.
Fair enough. That's a truthful statement. But I'm doing a damn sight better than this thing. As he looks down at the cat head. Fuck is it?
Don't know. Don't
Shrugs.
care. Job done. Get the kid.
Suffice to say, giant invisible predator.
Explains why I was a bitch to deal with.
And all of its brood.
Oh, there was more than one?
Significantly.
Yeah.
12, if my count was correct last time I checked.
I mean, also, bitch is a little bit of an understatement. It was more of an absolute disaster of a mess.
Well. So far, I must say the security cameras made an interesting viewing.
What?
I'm sorry. What?
He just pulls up a small data slab. And you watch him flick through a couple of things and pulls up, and it just rewinds to the moment where Chani had something slam on her, and the other two had one flicker into invisibility on them. What, you didn't think we had surveillance?
Uh,
I figured you'd be watching something else, but
Watching a
Oh, I
bunch
was
of people.
keeping my eye on the fights, but I was keeping an eye out on my investments as well.
Watching a bunch of people flail around fighting ghosts. Must have been a thrill.
Gave me a chuckle.
That is.
Little Miss screaming there was quite a laugh.
I'm very irritated.
Tough. The kid's on his way, but it'll be a bit. I suggest you find somewhere to sleep for the night. Because you guys are trashed.
what? No, I'm perfectly fine. This isn't a lot of my blood all over me. It's definitely only theirs.
Also, you smell wretched.
It's definitely only theirs.
You should.
Looks
You
glaringly
probably
looks
just smell
glaringly at the gash in your armor. Uh-huh.
Just goes, yeah, it's totally cat blood. And just
Yeah,
nonchalantly
totally.
flick some of the blood in his general direction. While wiping it off
Again.
of himself.
Again, like when they hit the ground and splattered, it doesn't bother him. You just watch him rewind and you just hear him chuckle again and Count looking over it. You see it's the part where the large one slammed its head back around into you. But I suggest you find a spot to sleep. The kid's on the way.
Sounds like you stored him pretty far away.
Sounds like he could run pretty damn fast if he wants to.
Can he run still?
Shrugs. He just shrugs his shoulders. Not my concern.
Fair enough.
Find more somewhere to sleep. The kid'll be with you by morning.
All right, who's up for dinner?
me.
Are you guys
Okay.
leaving then?
What time in the morning?
When he gets there?
Yeah, let's go ahead and leave before I make a rash decision.
If we're not here, will the boys still be here?
Oh, he'll be delivered to you.
I just wanted to make sure that if we leave, you're not gonna go back on your word.
Deal's a deal. You took care of my problem. Let's unload another one on you instead. It's 2 of my problems gone. Don't leave the floor. I'm not sending them very far with them. But if you're within the sector, I'll have them delivered to you.
Speaking of deals,
Just turns to look at you. Still like leaning on his elbow on the throne, this makeshift trash throne almost.
in what form would you like the blackmail in?
Had another data card there, that works.
That's up to Johnny there for that. She has that.
We'll finalize your additionals whenever we retrieve her child.
A little tear falls down your face.
You guys are still on about that?
Well, now I believe it.
Above game.
Cute. Oh, okay, I was gonna say cute, but I don't. Fine, send it with them in the morning. This is taking up enough. Are you still standing here? Do you need something else?
A
What if we just
recommendation
like your
on
company?
Repeat that, Robert.
What if we just like your company? Also, we kind of are sitting here standing around like a bunch of jackasses who don't know where they're gonna go sleep.
So we could use a recommendation on lodging.
Liking someone's company would be a lie.
I definitely don't.
Well, I don't give a shit if you like my company, because I don't like yours. Finding a lodging. Spot on the street, look around, there's somebody advertising.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, let's get.
Enough
He's just
awkward
watching you as you all stand there.
I mean,
silence. Enough awkward silence. Let's go.
I've been waiting for the party to fucking leave.
Easy enough though. You guys leave, nothing happens on the way out. Get back to the crowds, you can push your way out.
Question, Matt.
Yeah.
When he was playing the video, was there sound?
A little bit you could hear, but it sounds like it was down.
So it did have
Either
audio.
down or far away.
It did have audio.
From what you could tell, it seems like it did. It was either it was really down or the audio pickup's really poor because it was a more distant shot.
So once we're out doing our own thing, and I'll wait till I actually get proper lodging.
Okay.
I'm going to leave Mortimer on the speeder for an indefinite amount of time. They
Alrighty.
can stay over there. Just I didn't mention it earlier, but that's what's happening.
Alright, fair enough. So, what are you all doing? It is probably like 7ish in the evening.
Not that we can tell because we're underground. Or
Well, you all have
it's-
clocks. You
Oh, yeah.
especially have a clock.
So more lizard monkey steak, burgers.
Unless you know of some other delicacy to find down in these parts.
No idea.
Could have brought some of that cat. Probably would have been really tough and stringy though.
That sounds kind of gross.
I second that opinion.
We'd also have to cook it. In which case, that would
Yeah.
probably be a trash fire.
Well, speaking of trash fires, let's try to find somewhere to sleep that isn't, contagious.
On fire.
Also that.
I love how you always go for the most absurd things.
On that point, Johnny, make an investigation since you instigated it.
You mean I get to look around for things?
Oh, great.
I get
Oh,
to try to
no.
find
Can
something
Sorsha
again?
help?
No, I brought out a different dice than I normally use. This one's purple.
You don't want Sorsha to help?
I got this. I have to do this on my own. I'm not even gonna have the
Okay.
D4. I also didn't roll bad. 22.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, for once, Johnny seems to have her head on straight. It seems the more beaten down
For
she
once, she
feels,
has her
the
head
better
on
her sense of
straight.
direction is. Seems whatever that cat did knocked her sense of direction back in alignment.
I think she just might want to get out of here.
Shortly off, less than a block away, you find one. Advertising vacancies. No name on it, just a more like rundown building, but it's advertising vacancies.
If their
That
business
seems
doesn't
sketchy
have
as
a
hell.
name, They don't have to pay taxes.
Every building looks sketchy as hell down here.
Didn't say look, sounds.
Okay.
You have that option, or you can continue looking.
How many rooms do we want?
I mean, I don't care. We spent a couple nights basically shoved in the side of the wall with you.
I was just offering to give people some privacy. Or relative privacy.
I don't know privacy.
That seems like an accurate statement from what I've seen so far of you.
Group showers suck. But it's
Privacy
necessary.
would be nice.
How's about this? I'm gonna shoot for 3, and whoever wants to go wherever goes. Okay? Okay. And Johnny will head inside.
Sorsha's gonna put her arm on Eva's shoulder, and she's gonna go, me and you, bestie, and she's gonna hit her shoulder.
I like you and all, but not this time.
That's heartbreaking.
Alright, so heading into...
Yeah.
Heading in to get a room. Alright, heading in. It's a grungy place. There's a couple chairs. That's about it. Just a couple chairs. They're really not the best. There's stains. There's some tears.
Because there's no reason to try to be terrible or intimidating. The helmet is currently not on.
Fair. The person, there's just like a desk that looks pretty fucked up. It's also stained, nicked, torn. Looks like bird marks. Looks like it's been repaired. There's just this grungy, overweight human male there, just short and matted hair. Doesn't look clean at all. Just chewing on a toothpick. Looking at y'all as you walk in.
Hi there. How many, rooms do you happen to have available at the moment?
How many you need?
Well, we were looking at around 3, and to be perfectly honest,
Leans
the
back.
outside has been kind of rough on us, so if you have any better accommodations, we would happily take those.
I can do 3. He's gonna like obviously size you guys up. 30 credits.
Well,
For
that's
each
not
room.
bad at all. Oh.
Well, how about this? Do you have... Are there any rooms that are kept for special occasion or otherwise not frequented by individuals just coming for illicit purposes?
Leans back a little bit.
As we are still covered in blood and clearly not here for illicit purposes.
You don't know
50
my life.
credits each for those.
50 credits each for those. Insight check.
Go ahead.
I know he's upselling us. My god, natural 20.
Not even gonna roll. He's definitely just throwing a price out. You don't even see a price board around. You can tell he's just looking at you going, sounds about right.
Well, he's tossing random numbers, but I could buy his fucking life. So, let me sit here and think about this. Well, did it sound like he actually does have, like, some less grody rooms?
Oh yeah, he did mean that he had the nicer rooms, like what you meant for what you said. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Intimidate him.
I don't know.
No.
If you want to.
Well, if it's going to be 150 for 3 nice and clean things that are kept aside from, stuff, then I will happily oblige that, and I will thank your generosity.
You gonna pay the man then?
Yes, Johnny will pay the man.
Paying the man, he'll pull out 3 like small cylinder-looking things and just put them on the table. You guys know these are just basically like keys to some things. They basically have a security code in them. I'm gonna look at you. Pull the toothpick out again. Pleasure doing business. Stairs are over there.
Okay, let's...
I've got to ask who's pairing off with who for the 3 rooms.
I'll say one person will be odd unless 3 people go in a room and 2 people have a separate room.
Correct, that is the math.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, Eva wants privacy, but she won't care if actually somebody rooms with her. She's just like, no. God damn it. Fine.
Saoirse's just gonna look around and be like, who wants to be bunk buddies?
Oh god.
Give me a room away from her. Please.
Well,
Puts her hands together. Fair.
I look at the rooms. Are they sequential? Whenever we get to nearer to where they're supposed to be? Like, is there like a distance between each other?
Yeah, they're on the same floor, but none of them are right next to each other.
Okay.
Joran, I'll need to talk to you about something at some point.
Okay, so here's the one for you two.
So Joran and Count. Is what I heard there.
I mean, if he's not disagreeing.
He doesn't disagree.
Are you two sharing? I think I heard something about that before heading inside. And she'll hold out another key. To Eva and Saoirse.
You want a room to yourself, Johnny?
Insight check is what you should be making.
Anyone want beer? Can we get beer down here?
I'm sure you can.
James
Can you
wants
what?
beer.
Yeah.
Saoirse, make an insight check.
Oh, are you actually forcing an insight check?
Yes.
Do you wish to make an insight check, Saoirse? Oh, you're not there? Saoirse's having some technical difficulties, it seems. She's
Oh.
speaking, like, mouth's moving, but nothing's coming out. It's really weird.
God damn it.
Lovely. That again. While she's making that insight check, can I ask? I want to ask the guy at the counter where we can find beer.
Wait, are you stopping everything and going back down to the...
Well,
And now you're a robot.
he has the
Damn.
room key for him and Joran already, so they're already set up. We have our
Yeah,
hotel
we're-
keys where we can now go about the city.
Am I still robot-y?
Not right now.
No, you're fine on my end.
So who am I rooming with?
Johnny held out the key to you and Eva, and then you asked back to Johnny if she wanted a room to herself, and I said make an insight check. So make an insight check.
Okay.
It's a lot of dice rolls for an insight check.
I rolled 3.
That was not me.
I know.
Well,
That's
I
all
rolled a
right.
natural 1, so...
Nope.
You
You
don't get
counteract
to
that.
roll natural ones. Well, technically you
Remember,
can if you
insight.
want.
I count this as this counters the natural
9.
1.
Well, it does counter the natural one, but like even like with rogues, I don't know, no number lower than this. Natural ones can be fun sometimes.
Yeah, and this one I'll let it slide, though.
Okay,
Your minimum's 8. Remember?
8 plus
A
your
9.
modifier.
No, your
so...
remember's 8 on the dice. So add the modifier still to 8.
Oh,
Because
then
that's your
16.
Okay, because remember that's your Inquisitor ability.
Well,
Oh.
it seems that Johnny's just actually trying to be nice and or enjoys the idea of the slight amount of torture that will surely occur from the room sharing.
Sorsha just doesn't want to be a burden.
I didn't
So
roll
it
an
sounds
insight
like
on you.
sounds like I've got the pairs off right now. Max, your sensitivity's up really high. Can you guys hear me
Hi.
through hers?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Not all the time,
her.
but sometimes.
Sometimes.
Odd. Anyways, so I'm seeing Count and Joran, Chani, and then Eva and Sorsha. Correct?
Is that
And-
what's happening?
Are you saying you don't want that? That's why he's asking, babe.
Nobody was objecting, so I was asking to confirm in case people missed stuff.
No objections.
Okay.
This is why you shouldn't be drawing while playing D&D.
Making art while making content? How dare.
So, I heard Count wanted to go downstairs look for a beer. Are you going with him, Jordan? Since Johnny handed him the key.
I'm in my room getting the blood off.
Well, I mean,
Oh, Chad.
Count. I was saying the keys are handed out, and Count's just beer run.
Okay. So, Jordan, you head in, stump in. Probably don't even turn the lights on. You sound tired, and you're gonna just like fumble towards what you can loosely see as the bathroom and start running a shower, probably.
He's not getting out of his armor, by the way. He's gonna wash
Just
it.
standing in there in the shower, probably not paying attention to much of anything. Count, you're going on a beer run. He'll direct you to a store nearby. You can grab something.
Gun's gonna
You
get
guys did-
washed. Your armor's gonna get
And-
washed.
It'll take you like maybe 5-10 minutes to get back.
Did it?
I'll say it
What
costs
do?
you a good 20 credits for beer.
I was gonna say Count walking away saying beer run. Did anyone say anything back?
I mean, Jordan will just raise a hand as an affirmative, like, yeah, cool, give me some.
I think
Sorsha
everybody.
goes to her room to take a shower.
I
You're
do not
muted.
hear Max.
Sorsha swishes.
Now you're all choppy.
It's because your mic's 5 feet from your face.
Well, that would do it, yeah.
Well, I turned my sensitivity.
Yeah, you need to turn it down so that all your words can come through. Just don't be too near to Matt so that all his words come through too.
Fair.
Are you good now?
Yeah, I think so. All right.
I think so. Okay.
Okay, so
All right, I'll mark off.
he's going for a beer one. I'll say for 2. Are you getting how much beer are you actually getting? Let's actually ask that.
I mean, Jordan said he wanted one, or Jordan said he wanted some. No one else said they wanted any, so I don't know. Let's get a 12-pack of beer.
Effectively, 12-pack of beer, 15 credits.
That's
You
less
have,
than the one beer
you
you were
walk-
saying a second ago.
Yeah, I pictured him Count going a bit heavier from stuff that was talked about, but at a 12-pack, that's different.
Yeah.
He's not. I'll say he's just having a few beers to relax, and he figured. Hey,
Fair.
this guy probably drinks a lot too.
You walk in, and the guy starts to look like a bit of a sleaze bag, but then starts to look you up and down and realize, and then you can get what you can guess is a fair price.
Still covered in blood.
Yep. Making it back, are you just heading back to the room then?
Yep.
So, for the fun part, Jordan,
I'll
you
knock-
probably walk...
I was gonna say I'll knock on each of their doors and ask if they want a beer as coming by.
No, thank
Okay,
you.
you're running to... Yeah. Then you're into Sorsha and Eva's room.
Yeah, I will tell Chani they had that recording had audio. They probably heard stuff we said eventually.
Did we say anything? Really of import?
Mr. Randall or mentioned murder.
Fair.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And I'll go to the next door.
All right, you're at Eva and Sorsha's door.
I'll knock. You two want beer?
Sure, why not?
I'm good.
I'll give her a beer and then keep going.
All right, and for the final one, you get down to your room, opening it up, probably about the time Joran walks back out of the shower, who's dripping wet in his full armor. You flick the light on, and you guys realize something pretty quickly. He said he kept a nice room aside for things besides the illicit businesses. You guys are what it equates in the hotel to a love hotel room,
Oh no, I figured.
complete with a singular large bed and a fun shape.
It's a
We
squiggly
both
line.
look like we both look like we need a beer, Jordan.
This room needs a makeover. It looks awful.
It's very, like, gaudy pink and red.
By the way, closing the door. So, they had audio on us in some form during that whole ordeal.
Yeah, I figured.
Uh-huh. Which means, you know, the whole going back and killing that guy might be harder.
Killing is supposed to be a challenge. Not a blast you in the face and I'm done with you. If he heard it, then it's a challenge to him to see if he wants to go with it.
Well, so long as you're ready to face all the goons or do some stalking and hunting.
Either one works. I'm not worried about it. There are probably cameras in here too, knowing the sleeve bag.
How's your jetpack on fuel?
It's about half. It's right at about half right now.
Should be good enough for plenty of use then.
5 minutes. But
Cracking,
yeah.
cracking open a beer and passing it to him.
Smells it? Is this homebrewed beer?
It's beer. It doesn't smell like beer you've really had, but it's alcohol.
I'll crack one open for myself. Cheers to piss water.
Sure, it's been a long time since I've had piss water. Chug.
Piss water's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
It's pretty
just
shitty.
it's just the Indian fire water. That's all it is.
It's got alcohol in it, but it tastes like shit.
I kind
Yeah.
of picture Chani after seeing like the Love Hotel room is just like has her ear.
No, Chani's in a normal one. It's just you guys.
Oh, it's oh okay, it's just the okay.
It's literally just you two.
Yep.
When you guys opened it, the other two had normal rooms.
Though I am curious as to what you picture Chani doing.
I still picture Chani like having her ear to the like probably somewhat thin walls, just listening to see if Sorsha is causing groans of pain from Eva.
Oh, if she's close enough. Yes. I don't know how far the rooms are though.
At least the room apart between them. If you listen very, very closely, maybe.
Very,
And you hope
very.
there isn't some action going on in the room in between.
That's assuming we're actually saying it.
Okay, anything else for Joran and Count there?
Count beer, shower, sleep.
Are you guys
Yeah.
just both laying on the sides of the bed?
I mean, it's a fucking bed, so he doesn't give a shit. It's not the first time he's had to bunk up with people.
I'm picturing them back to back with him still full Mandalorian get up and just like
I'm picturing them big spoon little.
No, I would just like I'm picturing them like back to back. He's just kind of like curled up with his rifle. Count's curled up other side, just holding his lightsaber.
Just suddenly you get a blaster pistol to your kidney area, and Joran says, "You spoon me, and I will shoot you."
Part of the way. Is that everybody for the night then?
Yeah, pretty much. That's me anyway.
Johnny.
Part of the way through the night, one of you hits a switch, starts to like a disco thing starts to swip out, music starts to slowly play in your room there.
That's horrifying.
The
Johnny
bed starts to
is-
circle.
Where's the speaker?
It's coming from all directions.
Son of a bitch! I can't knock out all of them.
I can use lightning, but we might set the place on fire.
Is that a real thing that's happening?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
happening
Okay.
to him. It's happening. Chani's
might be
far
true.
enough away she can just sleep through it if she's not awake.
Well, Johnny has a thing that she wants to do.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Johnny would like to try to communicate with the learning AI that she has stored in her little data cube.
Alright. What are you attempting to achieve here?
Trying to like prod
Grab
some
a
levels
beer.
of communication, see like how its responses are, and if it seems coherent enough to begin a line of questioning.
Make a... I don't know what the fuck you would call this. You're talking to an AI. Technology check?
Sure.
With prodding?
I happen to really like this little purple die I just added to my repertoire, so I'm gonna roll it again.
Okay.
It rolled a fucking 19, so that's a 27.
Alright, so, send in some little poking and prodding. It's... You don't know if it's coherent. Every time you go to open up something, it tries to snap out and try to get out. But it doesn't seem to be responding like with actual text yet. It's just still working on trying to get out, it seems like. Every time you open up a channel, it tries to use that as a channel to get out, such and such. And you have to keep closing things off to keep it from doing so.
Now I need you to calm down and have a chat with me before I let you out. That's what she'll write. And if it doesn't seem to respond, then she's just gonna have to let it stew.
It doesn't attack that line of questioning. Like, it hits for a second, and just before you go to close it out, after sending it, and it starts to attack again, it stops. But you don't get a reply.
Whenever you decide to be civil, send back what your designate is, or whatever it is you wish to be called, and we will go from there.
Strawberry deck.
Love Hotel.
But if there's no response immediately, then
Yeah, you
she's done
don't-
for now.
Yeah, you don't get a response for that one. But it also did not attack the second communication.
It gets to stay in lockdown.
Alrighty. Anything else?
She's done.
Okay. Probably early in the morning, like 6 a.m. On Johnny's door, you just hear a...
Okay.
Yeah, that's about what I felt. Who is it? Said loudly.
It's your reward you wanted there. And you hear a voice that's found Philip familiar and was having fun poking at everybody's injuries the other day.
Go
Thought
over
you
there.
wanted the kid. Alright.
Go over there, open the door.
You open the door and you see him standing and has a grip on, like, a heavy grip of basically dragging this kid by his shoulder and just shoves him into the room, and the kid hits the ground. And from the description, it seems to match. It's scrawny, kind of short, dark navy bluish. It looks like it did have something, the Leku, tied up, but it's kind of torn and they're out. And the kid looks like you guys did yesterday. Like, it's bruised, he's bloodied up. You can see bruises through the dark skin.
Does
It looks like he
she
might have some
have-
cracked bones.
Any ability to... Can I make, like, a preliminary medicine check to see how recent these were added?
That would be a little bit more in-depth besides just looking.
Well, like, I'm talking about, like, a fresh wound as compared to, like, clotted out or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like, is
I'll
it
let you do
today
that.
or was it 2 days ago?
Yeah, I'll let you do that one with a look. Medicine check.
Believe me when I say I don't like my chances, but this purple die has rolled an 18 and a 19 so far. So I kind of like it.
I like the idea that Count and Joran are just on a spinning bed looking up at the roof.
The music hasn't stopped.
Nothing has stopped, and they just haven't said a word. Like, the beers were gone within the first, 15 minutes.
Nobody told me they were looking for a switch.
It has now rolled a 3, so that's a 5.
Blue is blue right now.
All
It's
right.
hard to tell through the skin color in particular.
Well, best not to leave you hanging with whatever you want. And she's gonna grab one of the data pads of copies of random shit and hand it off.
Good. And he'll just take it from you, turn around, and walk off. It's your problem now.
And that was just a goon, right?
No, that was him.
Oh, it was the
Oh,
head.
that
dude.
was the bigger guy. I see.
That was the guy on the chair. Although, looking at the wall, you do see there are goons in the hall.
Yeah.
Although, with how loud he...
I was gonna say, I was about to ask, will we be able to hear the banging?
Passives, would you guys actually have been asleep at this point? I don't know what
6
what would your standard wake up be?
Yeah, 6 a.m. for a Mandalorian? Oh, fuck yeah, I'm awake.
Oh yeah, you guys would have heard the loud beating then, and him voice. He's not quiet, man. He doesn't give a shit if people are asleep or not.
Hey. It's him again. I guess he made the delivery personally.
I'm gonna puke.
You should probably take off your helmet.
Why does it spin throughout the night? That doesn't make any sense. What part to lovemaking does this make better? I don't.
I mean, you could ask the man at the counter if you like.
I don't care enough. And he just gets off the bed.
Yes, they're all starting
So
to...
you don't even like stand up, like push. You just kind of like roll and flop on the ground. I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
At this point,
I'd like to picture they do it in unison, just to the opposite side.
just bed's still spinning.
If I see the mechanism while laying here on the ground, I'm going to shoot.
It's close to the
going
ground. You
fucking-
can't see it. You
Yeah,
can't
that's
see the
fair.
underside of it. The sideboards come down close to the ground. There's not enough room for you to just look over and see
That's
it.
fair. That's absolutely fair.
And it frustrates you to no end.
I will, however, as just general principle, shoot it with an ion blaster just to make me feel better. It's probably not going to do anything, but I'm going to make myself feel better.
I mean,
Just the bed
Shoot it
itself.
with
I'm
an
shooting
ion
with an
blaster. It goes through the headboard, hits the board, hits the wood. Doesn't
That's
do a
the
bunch
wrong
to the wood.
That's the wrong one. Shit, they're supposed to be on the other side. How the... Whatever.
As they're rousing and doing whatever the fuck it is you want to call that. Johnny is going to go over to the kid and
He's on the ground, unconscious right now.
they're knocked the fuck out.
Knock the fuck out.
Okay, well, I guess it's a good thing that we actually managed to get a long rest in, because in that case she's gonna go ahead and utilize a Colto pack on him.
Alright. I think that's the D8 plus modifier one.
That one there is basically healing word.
Oh, it's the healing word
Have
version, sorry.
yourself that D4.
Thought it was
Plus-
the cure boost version.
5. Or I'll roll it. 9.
You roll it. 9, damn. And slowly but surely, with a couple of grunts, the kid just slowly rolls over and looks up.
You okay there?
And then throws himself at the door. And not realizing anything, just slams straight into a closed door because how close he was to it.
Hearing the second slam after the people have already left, I'm going to walk out of my room and go to where the slam noise was.
Are you going to
Yeah,
try
he's
to
at
run
this
away
point.
again?
Staggering back, holding his nose.
Count will follow.
Are you going to try to run away again?
No?
Insight check.
Okay. Insight check.
13.
You can't
mean,
read
makes
this, and
sense.
somehow this kid holding up like what looks like a little bit of a busted nose has a better poker face than you've seen in a while.
Oh, I can't read them? Fine then. Drink dark. 18.
Yeah, you hit.
Have a nap.
Oh god. Yeah, I think your minimum you're gonna roll is gonna knock, and he
Mhm.
just falls back on the ground, hits the door again, and then slides to the ground.
Just at the second slam, door opens. You good?
Door opens inwards, so you go to open the door, and also hotel room, so it's locked.
Well then, boom, boom, boom. You good?
Are me and Max hearing this as well?
If you woke up,
I think that they probably
I
would
mean,
have.
I rolled, and apparently I'm a very fucking light sleeper.
would you guys have been up this early or not? That's all I'm asking.
Well, they're in a
What time is
high-stress
it?
environment, and there's sudden loud noises, so I imagine that...
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I would have been asleep, but like I'm a light sleeper, so bang.
Okay, yeah, then you could have heard it.
Yeah. I
Sorsha, are you a light sleeper, or are you the knock the fuck out?
Sorsha's just gonna be like on the bed, arm over her eyes, just snoring.
Okay, Sorsha's still out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over there and just be like, the fuck is going on?
You just see Zoran and Count on the outside of it.
Sorsha just waves her arm at her as she leaves.
Give me a minute, and she'll go over there and get the door open.
Drag the kid back some,
No,
lean him
he's-
up against a different wall.
Okay.
He's on the door right now, that's the problem.
Okay, fair.
And then open it up, and you guys just see Chani there, and then there's this bruised, beaten, and right
Truncated.
fucked up sleeping Twi'lek that matches the general description you were given.
What did you do?
Well, they tossed him in here, beat the fuck up, probably bleeding a bit, healed him up, then he tried to run away, so I had him take a nap.
That's not quite what I meant, but I mean fair, if that's what happened.
He's
Then
not
okay.
injured by this method of unconsciousness, at least.
I don't care how the hell you knocked him out. I mean, for all I care, you could have just did whatever is wrong with him just to knock him out. I don't care.
Let's not beat hapless children.
I don't. That's not what I meant. But whatever.
Anyone?
I mean, that's what it sounded like.
Well, maybe we can find the kind fellow who guided us up here and have him guide us to the surface.
One
Perhaps.
can only hope.
And hopefully nothing else of misfortune will happen down here. To us, while we're down here.
As we're going down.
He is not going to let this kid go this easily.
Does someone want to... I hate to say this, but go ahead and grab him. And carry him outside.
How heavy's the kid? As Jordan picks him up,
So, he's pretty light, honestly.
slung over the left shoulder.
As you guys start to walk out, you're all realizing you're missing a party member.
Shit. Sorsha.
Go back to the door. Sorsha, you awake?
You hear snoring.
I'm
Go
just
shake
gonna
him.
go in there and start shaking her.
I was gonna
So
say.
door flies open, you're sleeping through the couch, and then just suddenly so you're just going being thrashed about.
Sorsha like flings her arms, screaming.
Is the fucking screaming necessary? Holy crap.
Well, while that noise is happening, I'm gonna check in on Mortimer.
Alright. Still on the Speedster, but Speedster is different location now.
Gonna crawl up and gaze around the surrounding area.
Seems to be some kind of warehouse inside of one of them.
Okay. Does
Looking
he-
around, you see a couple other things. It's like a like a mechanic / chop shop kind of looking dealio.
Does he see the garage door and its opener button?
You see the garage door, but you don't see an opener button. You'd have to make an investigation to look for that one.
Investigate with Mortimer.
Which is you directing it, so it's your investigation.
I can investigate with Mortimer. That is 20 total.
Okay, looking around, you find there's a switch on the dashboard that you think you could use to open it up.
Mortimer depresses.
One opens up.
Is it the one that we're nearby and in front of?
It's not the one you're right in front of. Because you're kind of like parked, something like this guy pulled in and parked it in the middle of like of people and annoying shit.
Okay. Mortimer is now going to go over to its dashboard.
But there is now people looking over like, why is the door opening?
Mortimer is now going to go over to its dashboard and kind of interface with it.
Slicer?
Yeah. 29. It's mine.
All right, you have control of this car.
Let's...
Little Mortimer's dragonfly-ish mouth bites onto a cable, and you start digging in through.
And now the car is going to go on a ride around the city.
All right, it takes off, and you hear a lot of shouting before Mortimer clears the building, and you can't
Yeah.
pick up anything from it anymore.
He's just going to circle for a bit. I'm going to call him in to do other stuff later.
Okay. He's circling.
And as Johnny's heading down the stairs and they're going back up the stairs to deal with Sorsha, who's having fun, it seems. She's going to look at the innkeeper. Go on.
Jordan's basically staying around Chani at this point.
Okay.
We don't need 3 people to go wake up one person.
She's going to go to the innkeeper and go, sorry about that. Some people down here. You know how they are. Where's the nearest elevator up? Preferably a cargo one, if at all possible.
I don't have an elevator up. I think the gentleman you interacted with this morning has the elevator up.
Well, I didn't think you would have it, but I thought that there would be one for general population to go through, transports, things like that. Is there not? He has a monopoly on the sole
Look,
way
he just
in and out of this
pulls-
district?
he looks, if you haven't noticed there, little lady, he runs this district.
Okay.
Suck my. Stop.
Sorsha and Eva, Sorsha, you're awake now. Eva has been thrashing you around enough.
I feel like she's still shaking her even though she's awake.
Possibly.
Oh god.
No. The second she starts screaming, it's more of calmly
God,
shaking
throw her on the floor.
and then stop. I mean,
Also-
that's a thing.
You're
too.
awake, Sorsha.
I also
Okay,
love
I'm awake.
how Count and Jordan both silently agreed never to talk about what the fuck was in that room.
Words.
Although,
did not
Sorsha,
need
now
to
that
be
you're awake,
spoken.
you hear some, like, odd music. You recognize what it's from. Hey, 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 hey. Remember how many people get flagged from that? But basically, you get the point.
You hear the saxophone.
Yeah,
You hear the
copyright music is a
saxophone.
bad thing.
She doesn't really say much. She just walks by them and like gives them a side eye fun night.
There's only one. It's only the Count.
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
downstairs.
Still, the count gets that.
Count's just gonna sit there and just dead fish expression on his face. It just didn't stop spinning. There was no switches. It just didn't stop spinning.
Sorsha, you know about these things. They have switches. They're pretty easy to find, too.
Yeah, Sorsha just giggles. She goes, "Did you know that there's a switch? It's under the desk."
There wasn't a desk. There was a shower and a bed.
There were side stands. Night tables.
She doesn't need to know that.
I was telling you that.
But she doesn't need to know that.
Okay. Are you guys heading downstairs?
Might as well.
All right, you get down there. There's the Count and Jordan. No, that's not Count and Jordan. There's Chani and Jordan. Sorry, 2 C names.
Hey,
And,
Johnny girl.
And an unconscious Twillick slung over George's shoulder.
My son!
Don't stop.
She just laughs.
Adoption is a thing. That is legal.
Pretty sure he's already adopted at this point. Doesn't matter. Don't care. Just want to get him home. If this is him.
Let's head outside if everyone's congregating down here.
Yes, let's.
As you
All
say,
right.
boss.
Heading outside. Nobody even gives a second glance to the fact that Jordan has this kid slung over his shoulder. He looks
Yeah, that looks
16, 17-ish aged.
If it's the one in the description, it's the one in the description, so.
Apparently,
Matches him pretty well.
Apparently, this lovely individual we're having to deal with has a monopoly on the elevator that takes people up, which we need to access.
If this isn't the kid, I will cut that elevator down.
Sorsha rolls her eyes. So we expect to have to do another errand.
We don't have to take elevators. There's another way. We could find that gentleman before that helped us. He might know.
Maybe, but I don't know where he would be. I will say, though, that the speeder that we were in yesterday is now just having a day about town in case we need it for anything. And imagine now that we look off in the distance and you just see a runaway speeder with no driver.
There's other ones following it, but they at least have drivers.
But is Mortimer blaring Benny Hill?
Mortimer's blaring whatever he wants to blare. It's an independent dragonfly.
Be an idiot. This is out of character. Oh, it's a Mortimer's the dragonfly?
Yes.
Yep.
Mortimer's
Okay, that answers my...
Scooby-Doo music.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
So how do we want to deal with getting back up? I guess we can go try to find that one guy, but I have no idea where to start.
He said it'd be around and easy to find if we needed to find him. And if we're gonna get the kid out before anything else happens, then
We need to have a good conversation with said kid, one that they can't just, run off from. So that's a thing that needs to happen at some point as well.
unless he's really good at getting out of grips, he's not gonna go anywhere for a while. So you can wake him up and ask him your question now.
You know something odd there, Johnny?
Go
That
on.
only lasts for a minute. Tranquilizer. Its effects are only roughly a minute long.
Insofar as the spell.
If need be, you can just stab him more than once.
Can Sorsha just, go up and poke his feet? How long does he stay out?
Well, once they're asleep,
You
they're
just-
asleep. They're no longer, magically asleep. They can still get woken up, though. And stay asleep, conversely. So, by all means, commence poking.
You poke him in the foot, nothing happens.
Do you want me to set the kid down so we can have a convo, or what?
You may as well.
He's not awake yet.
Grab onto him, make sure he doesn't fuck off, but
Count, get one side. Ava, get the back. I'll get the other side. He ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
And I
Sorsha just goes up to his face, puts
just
her
set him
hands on
down.
her cheeks, and just shakes him.
I just set him down against the wall and stand where, well, not like up against the wall, but like in a chair or something, whatever, kind of thing.
Slow spot.
Yeah, somewhere he can sit to where Ava's behind him, I'm on the one side, Count's on the other side, and apparently Sorcerer's shaking him in the face.
It's Eva.
Whatever.
So, kid comes to.
One
Slowly
hand
at
on one
first.
shoulder, one hand, other hand
Eye
on another.
flicks open a bit wider for just a second, seeing somebody that's close to it. Seeing someone else that's close to him, and then he's just gonna look at you.
Who you?
Sorsha, because she's right in his face.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's illegal. I can't do a kid's voice very well.
Sorcerer's just gonna stop and she's just gonna like look at him and look down and look back up. I don't give a fuck.
Mmm. I look around. Who do I seem to have been sold to?
Back to your dad. Or whatever you want to call him. Or whatever he wants to call you.
Just leans his head back. Is no an option?
No.
I have a job to turn in.
Well,
He's
you
looking
failed.
around. I feel like you people of all people know how to have a job to turn in.
Seems like you failed.
Something
No, I still have the
about
thinking.
something about a weird little crystal thing.
No.
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 Stop that!
Not the place to talk about it. Kid, you're going back to the surface. End of. That's our job.
Hmm.
As the hand grip tightens on his shoulder. Because he was informed that the kid tries to run.
If
So
you
trying
could,
to emasculate yourself to me does not help with your own depravity there.
if you could elaborate on the job it is that you're trying to turn in, perhaps we could be of assistance. If you do not, though, we're just going to have to treat you as some errant child.
Or a sack of
Grab a
potatoes.
box, take it to the spa. I don't ask. You of all people seem to understand that from your current equipment. Well, maybe not him. And looks at the count.
I mean, Count has a gun at his hip, but
No, the fact that you have lightsabers dangling, obviously.
they're kind of with the cloak hidden, but
He can
Fair
still
enough.
see.
I can't imagine that you
To
still
most
have...
people, couldn't. Most people might not see it, but he can.
I can't imagine that you still have whatever box it is that you're supposed to be acquiring, given your circumstance as of late.
Have a poor imagination, don't you think?
That's why I'm asking for explanations.
yes.
Explanations. What do you do with a box when you're getting chased?
Sorcerer goes, you shove it up your butt.
Either that or
Why is
some
that something you said?
hidden location. Either that or some hidden location. Again,
It sounds like a thing to be
the more you elaborate, the better for you.
Think.
Otherwise,
Think. I applaud. I said he just turns to Chani as she says that. You can think. I applaud.
Less sarcasm, more answers. It'll speed things up.
I'm being
Maybe.
very civil.
And this kid's not.
Does he say
Sorry.
that?
Yeah.
I noticed.
Johnny,
Yes?
do you have a way of contacting the person we're supposed to be bringing this brat back to?
And maybe if all the communication systems down here weren't shit. She'll check, nonetheless.
No, nothing's really reaching up that high.
Nope, not happening.
I say knock his ass back out. We take him back to the service and deal with whatever the fuck he's gotta deal with later.
Dealing with a knocked out individual and trying to get passage to places, especially ones where they've already proven that they have a means of transport to and from, and she'll point at the individual in your grasp, doesn't seem to be the most efficient means. So if you want to elaborate on your job, and maybe even get it completed, and then let us finish ours, then that is the most efficient way for you to get back to doing whatever it is you do. If you want to sit here and dick around and prove all of the stigmatism about your age group and everything else about it, be an angsty idiot, by all means. We can just tell you that, we can just tell the person who sent us looking for you in an act of compassion exactly what you've been up to, where you've been, and make them even more worried about an idiot.
Make a persuasion check.
I get to roll a charisma thing. I'm gonna cry. 27.
He's gonna look at you quietly for a minute. Fine. It's stashed nearby on the floor. It's hired to steal something, get it out, get it to a person. Don't know what's in it, don't care, just delivering.
And once you're done with that, what's your method of... Because you came down here of your own accord, and I'm going to assume you didn't use Dickhead's elevator. So what's your method of transport?
Tunnels?
Easily
Tunnels all over the
accessible
place.
and not going to kill us tunnels?
Gonna look around. You wouldn't all fit during these tunnels, no?
You'd be surprised.
Just like covers herself up, insecure.
This is being told by a kid who literally, you could probably count his ribs if he took his armor off.
We'll see about it, but in the meantime, quid pro quo, I'm going to hire you on for something. Is that okay?
You see, now this is how you start a conversation.
You mean by running away and directly into a doorway like an idiot?
Okay, admittedly, that was idiotic.
Well,
but how would you feel if
damn.
you've been kidnapped, beaten, and then thrown into another stranger's room?
It's happened more times than you could ever fucking dream of, kid. Get over it.
You'd be surprised, numbnuts.
Alright,
You would.
so,
Is the names necessary?
let's finish your job.
Absolutely, considering he's trying to break my clavicle.
He's not trying to break anything, are you, Joran? He's just
No. If I was trying, it'd be broken.
rough
Possible.
around the edges, but he's really just a teddy bear.
Sure. He's just an asshole.
So let's get your job done, and then I'll see about your rate for ensuring safe travel for all of us and yourself so we can complete our mission. Back up to the levels that we came from. Okay?
Alrighty, easy enough. How much am I getting paid?
We'll talk about that. Just be aware, we have pockets that are deep enough.
Don't tell him that.
Trust me here.
He gets to keep his legs.
Well, that's a bonus.
I mean, he gets to have a fucking view that isn't my ass the whole trip, so that's a bonus.
Rough around their edges, huh?
If you
Like
haven't
he
noticed,
said,
there's an awful lot
asshole.
of bark. That normally tells you what's going on. So, let's go find your box, huh?
Let's go get the box. Quicker I get that, the quicker I have to stop dealing with him. And he'll just
Jordan's
stand
hand.
up and slip right out of your grasp
I mean,
before you
Jordan's
get a chance
hand.
to let go.
Jordan's hand was gone anyway.
Okay, well he just stands right up, dusts himself off, and starts walking. Not
Follow
running,
suit.
not anything, just walking, decent pace. And on the way, so you've been sent to get me by the big man up there. How long have I been down here?
It's been like a week, isn't it?
Yeah, he said it'd been about a week since he'd last seen the kid.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, less time than I thought.
Yeah, torture will do that to you.
It was torture. They're not creative enough for torture.
It was just friendly beatings.
Leave and come back.
Oh, I never said it was friendly.
Better?
They just wouldn't know their way about anatomy for torture if it bit them in the ass. And the kid's obviously leading you on a very set path. He seems to know his way around.
I would
At one
assume
point,
as much.
Count, you see you see a familiar guide off in the distance, just raises his hand and waves as you guys all walk past.
I'll wave back at him.
Also going to wave back. Kind of haphazardly, like, God, I wish you were guiding us, not this fucking brat.
He's just leaning back and eating a burger.
I'll just give him.
Sorsha just like looks down sad because she really likes those burgers.
I'll point at the kid and give him a thumbs up, like we got the thing.
Before you guys leave the corner, you see him start to pack stuff up. As you guys start to walk past, you catch a little bit of that. So how much is he paying you all to get me? Can't imagine it's a lot.
Information.
More than you're worth.
I find that hard to believe. Body's worth quite a bit if you sell it to the right person.
That's true.
Still more than you're worth.
Yeah.
Well, you
Only
say
with a
that.
shitty negotiator.
I have reason to believe that they may have been involved in our recent embarrassment.
Recent embarrassment?
We'll find out.
What recent embarrassment? Do I have concede to be concerned that somebody's coming after you during all of this?
No, no one's coming after us.
Hmm. You say so. At one point, you guys are walking past. You're now down by those warehouses again. And as you're walking past, at one point, he stops, grabs a piece of this, so it looks like a support beam almost, creaks it out a little bit, pulls out a backpack, slips it on, and then pulls out a couple knives, and they disappear up into sleeves. And a handgun that he puts on him, like on a holster that slits like right against the small of the back. And it's a very like quick, methodical thing. Like this has obviously been done before repeatedly.
Yeah.
All right. So, shall we head off? Do you have any ways up?
Didn't.
That's what you're guiding us for.
Yeah.
No, I already told you. You can't take my routes up. You guys won't fit.
Your job is to get this party up. You want to work at contract work, you have to understand that it never goes correctly.
You guys have never been down here before, have you? I'm going to take the silence as a yes. Well, that fun case. You have two options. Bribing the floor owner, who so graciously put me inside of your room this morning, to use his elevator to go upwards and take it as far up as it will go. However, it won't go up as high as we need to go. Or you prepare for a long trek upwards through tunnels. Maintenance joints, side shafts, the whole 9 yards.
That's what we were asking. Yes.
And I'm offering you options, because I'm not bribing the man. If you can't guess, we're not on the best of standings.
Yeah,
I don't
while
know.
the
You
kid's
seem to think your
talking,
body's worth a lot.
while the kid's talking, Jordan's just gonna turn around and just leave the party and walk over to where that guy was packing up.
You meet him about halfway. He's been following on with his backpack. Just gives a small wave.
What's the easiest way out of this place? Just because I don't trust the kid.
Easiest is most expensive way, elevator.
Other than that,
But some side tunnels would be a tight fit. Do you have claustrophobia?
no.
Is anybody in your group?
They'll suffer. They'll suffer through. James,
Mm.
add the extra word. It was
So who's
supposed to be
the kid?
suffer through, not suffer.
I know.
job.
It's like, so who's the kid? The job? You're a little rough on him, it looks like.
No, that wasn't us. That was his own mistakes.
Hmm.
I don't beat defenseless kids.
None of my business. So, you guys looking to head somewhere else? Up, as you seem to put it so eloquently?
He's gonna give him the rough estimate of what the floor number we're looking to get to is.
Kid never gave you, he just said up.
Well, I know I would know the floor number that the freaking Sith is on.
That'd be one of the topper floors. He just leans back, he's like, that's a long ways. Oh, wow. Got
Yeah.
away.
He won out. This is job done.
How do you feel about heights and high speeds?
I'm a Mandalorian. Fighter
Alright.
piloting is kind of normal.
Sure, it's like that.
I mean, it's close enough. We'll deal with it.
Meanwhile, Kid back at your guys' group is waiting on an answer for what you wish to do. And then to Jordan, he's like, well, shall we meet back up with the rest?
I'm
Hey,
curious
I
as to what
can
this high
see
speed
them
option
over
is.
there.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what this high speed option is. Let's walk and talk.
A pulley and a bucket.
Fair
And a
enough.
weight.
That's a long pull.
Oh, yeah, it is. I don't like to use it because it's a little iffy.
Yeah.
And I have no need to go that high usually.
And probably about this time we get back to the party.
Yep. And you guys see Jordan walk back in with a familiar, scraggly looking dude.
Hello again. She like circles him looking for sandwiches.
Very obviously gets the meaning, unslings backpack, pulls out one wrapped, and just like a weird foil this time and hands it to you. And then puts his backpack back on.
He quickly devours it.
Fair.
That was interesting.
It was something.
Hello again.
It was a sandwich. And hello. So that's the kid you're looking for?
We're looking for, yeah.
Hmm. I think I've seen him running around down here. Hmm.
Therein lies the problem. Person cares about him way up there and doesn't want him getting himself killed.
I mean, up there is a good place to do it as down here. And the kid will nod to that one. It's just
That
they're
is-
more obvious about it down here.
That is a fair enough, but the least the kid could do is be at least somewhat grateful to his own benefactor. But that's just me.
Guy shrugs his shoulders. Not my concern. So, here you want to go up. Who wants to play with the pulley?
What do the kid's facial features or like body structure do up on that word?
Takes a contemplative look and then gives him a, "Are you serious?"
Go on.
It's quite simple. It's a pulley. You get in a bucket, you push the weight, you go up.
How fast?
Yes, about as fast as you fell from that elevator you mentioned, probably. That's the counterweight. An old
My only
busted
question
shaft
is
with weight.
My only question is it one at a time?
Oh no, you could all fit on it.
I see no downside here.
I gave it a 75% chance of working and a 25% of breaking.
It's better than
And
the
that-
elevator.
And you see why we don't use them.
Quicken up.
Sorsha, you notice the kid start to walk around the building.
Somebody
Guys,
might want to keep an eye on him.
Nobody else saw him disappear, only Sorsha saw him starting to move.
I know I was saying.
Sorsha gives like a little smile and she's like, "Hey guys, he's getting away."
At that point, he just like makes an act of actually just like examining a piece of the wall.
Level out the wrist launcher at him again. Come on. Come on.
Hey, we said you got to keep your legs.
And I have them.
Blaster rifles out.
You're getting paid for this.
Yeah.
So come on. Let's not slink away. Agree?
It's debatable if it's really worth it.
I'll force pull him back over towards us.
What's a force pull? Is that a save, or does it just happen, or? I think it's a
Save.
save.
Oh, what's
As the
it?
things start to wrap around him, what kind of save?
Hang on, I have many things, and I have the level 1 stuff open, not the at will. There's the at will.
I think it's strength.
If this is if this
Yeah,
turns out
strength.
to be a
Strength.
surprisingly strong, emaciated youth, I'm
18.
going to be surprised. Are you fuck? He's a
18?
surprisingly strong, emaciated youth. I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
As you pull it away, and he looks up at you, and you just... There were... Basically, when you start to pull on him, there weren't any weapons, and now there are daggers.
Come on, kid.
Can Sorsha like sneak around and like tackle him?
You're in plain view of him.
Can Sorsha just run and tackle this dude?
You can try.
What would I roll for that?
It's in athletics.
I'm just gonna, because there is a way of just like making the gun make a whirring sound, like it turns on. I'm just gonna flick that
De-escalate, please.
and say to Johnny,
What'd you
can
roll?
take a blaster bolt.
A 6.
As you run through and go to tackle, he just kind of like pivots around.
Can we? Hey,
Really? It just actually stops whatever he was doing. He's just, really?
Sorsha just like shrugs. You're my son.
No, that's not how this works at all. Daggers will disappear back, and he just walks unconcerned about the blast rifle at all.
Oh, that's not worried. It wasn't toward him.
No, he heard the whirring, and he heard you.
That's fine.
That's what he said. He's just unconcerned about any of it leveled at him right now.
It's not leveled. It's just aiming down.
Well, you're not the only person leveling. I'm saying anything leveled for the group.
is that because mine's non-lethal?
I mean, maybe. He just doesn't seem to care.
Okay, whatever the hell that was, just don't run off, okay?
I think he wants to get caught again. Maybe he likes beatings. I've heard there's some weird people that like those things.
Oh no, I heard that
Called
music down the
again?
hall and saw you two walking out of that room.
Yes, it was a
Stop.
hotel. What about it? So what? Do you think the big man and I fucked? Mr.
I
Angsty
mean, I wouldn't be
Teenager?
surprised. You look the types.
I mean, I'm-
And he just starts walking off again. This time without even just sneaking.
Where are you going?
He mentioned a pulley. There's only one pulley close by.
Okay, so you're leading the way there. Correct?
I mean, that's where I'm heading, because apparently that's where we're going.
Okay. Come along then.
Come along, you guys are the ones still standing there as he's getting farther away.
I could have been walking after him.
Fair. But still, he's talking to Johnny,
Johnny's-
who's still back there at this point.
Johnny's mid, like, having turned around, gesturing at the party to come along and hearing this. Eye twitches.
The beraggled hobo is just the hobo guy following you guys. Just looks endlessly amused at all of this.
So long as
Well,
they're
I don't
having
need a
fun.
guide apparently, but this is a show.
Our
Feel free to come along and watch.
our benefactor is gonna get a nice talking to.
It doesn't do to bite the hand that gives out drops.
Kid, shut it.
That was the hobo.
Oh,
Never
I have the
mind,
same
friend.
voice for the hobo and the kid. I don't.
I'm
know
sorry. I know it's kind of hard to do a kid's voice for me. I can't really do a kid voice.
I mean, that's fair. It's all good. Now that I know it's the hobo, I didn't say anything.
Okay. I'm allowing that because you're right. My voice, it's hard to do, so they're about the same.
Just
Probably sound the same on the
wear
stream.
finger puppets and only use one whenever you're talking and realize that there's no camera and do it anyway.
Exactly.
Be crazy, man.
Exactly. So he starts walking through. Kid finds a random door, opens it, leads you into the tunnels. Starts walking along, walking along. Unless anybody has anything to do, it'd probably take a good 4 hours to get to where you guys are going.
Try to not have a conniption.
Hard. This kid is a pain in the ass. And soon enough, you get to what looks like the most jibby-rig and rusted situation you've seen in a while.
And this
And that
is our...
includes the other elevators.
And this is gonna be our way up?
I mean, unless you want to spend a few weeks walking.
Okay. Back over to Mortimer. Has...
Oh, Mortimer would be just barely. It's almost entirely out of range.
That's
That's
fine.
like static get hit and miss right now.
Mortimer, have they located, like, a fuel depot of any kind or something?
If you had gave it the order earlier too, it probably could have by now.
Okay, they now have the order to set course for that, and then have the vehicle do whatever it wants, and then return to dock.
Taking the vehicle back to where it was,
No.
or leaving the vehicle there, then having Mortimer come back.
The
Pretty sure
vehicle's
the
going to
vehicle's
be...
gonna crash into the fuel depot, and Mortimer's gonna come back.
Yes.
Okay. You guys feel it.
Max B.
Only Chani
have
knows
fun.
what that was, but you all feel some vibrations in your feet. And I'll say you probably did this a little bit earlier, so it actually had time to catch up.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to be here for a while as this dragonfly tries to catch back up to you.
Well, Johnny knows her distances, timing, and stuff like that, so yes, she
Yeah.
would have done it correctly.
Yeah.
She's not
So
going to
probably about the
damn word,
time
though.
you get to the elevator, Mortimer pops back into its slot.
There you
on
are,
your
buddy.
wristpad.
I assume that was you then.
Let's get out of here.
Fair enough.
Kid just sidles up in and alrighty. Let's see how many has gray matter leaking after this.
This is gonna be fun.
The
Third time it's been
homeless
game.
guy will look at you guys and just be like, "I'll wait here and reset the weights after you're done." Good luck with that,
Thank you, nameless friend.
Toby. And he'll hold out a hand.
I will shake hands.
And after he shakes, I'll shake.
He'll
It was a
shake.
pleasure.
It was amusing, that's for sure.
You take it easy.
Can do. I do that every day.
Fair enough. And I just saddle up onto the elevator, strap the gun in tight, make sure everything's strapped in and held down because he knows what's coming. Because he's got a little bit of piloting in his background. This shit gets rough.
There's no straps.
Well, no, he
There's
can.
no
he's got-
handles.
I mean, he's got straps
There's
on
no
him.
loops.
He's got
It's
straps
not-
on himself to strap his guns down and his daggers down and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can strap your weapons down extra tight, but strapping yourself to this thing probably
Oh,
isn't
no.
happening.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
Like,
what's the
he knows
standard?
that shit's gone.
What's the danger of using this route per se, other than it just going fast? Is it just people fall, or what's up with it?
I mean, one of them launched itself, cable snapped, and then they went back down.
Oh, we have great luck with that.
Are you all in it at this point?
Yeah.
On that note, good luck. And he just kicks a lever, and everybody's flat into the ground. As whatever free weight was pulling onto this thing takes off down, and you guys start shooting up. Like you know where the wind starts blowing into you, your mouth starts getting open, your mouth catches the wind, and it's like you can't close, it's blowing your cheeks everywhere, things like that.
Helmet closed.
That's what kind of that's what kind of air pressure it gets to, pretty quickly.
Close
You
to
close your
2 feet
helmet.
is what you're trying to say.
Yes, helmet
Yeah.
closed.
Helmet helps out a lot, but you're still flattened on the ground
That's
right
fine.
now. Going, and then you realize, oh shit, that's a ceiling pretty approaching really quickly. Going, and it just crashes into the ceiling. Everybody hits up, back down, and then it just hangs there. And the kid just slowly pulls himself off of the ground, and you're like, well, we made it.
That was fun.
That
I
was a
didn't
lot
need
of
that
fun.
rib anyways.
Probably not.
For once, you're right. It's useless right now.
Ugh.
And he just slowly pulls himself off and just walks over to a bit of the wall and kind of like scrubs it off.
Count will get out of elevator.
Everybody is like kind of half dizzy. Only person who's like clearly okay right now is Chani. It's like that stiff-legged, half-asleep-legged feeling.
Come
Sorsha
on,
just
Mixer.
like flops onto the ground.
You okay there?
Yeah.
Johnny will offer a hand.
She stands up.
Joran just kind of stretches.
Well, that was fun. All right.
That's what I would call it
This
too.
ride went on for a good 15 minutes, by the way.
So fun, let's never do it again.
They have terrible choices of transportation. I can't fathom that there are active elevators that only go to portions of the city. Just make larger shafts and have it working with larger.
We can fix it when we go back down there.
We're not fixing it. This is a base problem the Coruscant, apparently.
We cannot fix, we can only break.
If you haven't figured it out by now, nobody gives two shits about what goes on down there. The kid tells you all.
Yeah.
So they're not going to fix anything. And why would they make a shaft connecting it when they don't want to acknowledge that it exists?
Well, sometimes you gotta scratch the underbelly.
And they usually take ships and the shuttles down. But those take money and authorization.
Anyways, to the surface.
Or willpower and wherewithal.
Sure. He just keeps walking.
Got that communique yet? To Chani. Because Chani's the communique.
Well, did you have something in particular you wanted me to send? What?
Let the fucking person who put us down here know that we probably got the kid and make sure this is the kid. I hate to have to go back down there.
I mean, you have reason to believe that it might not be. Sure, why not?
I like being
Just in case.
clear and concise.
Sure, I'll see if I can contact him.
Reaching up, you can start to get the signals from up there. You obviously have jumped a lot of floors, but it's too like staticky. You can't really get anything through. It's just that it's there.
Not quite. Seems we gotta go further still.
You're also now in like deep maintenance tunnels, which will probably have a lot of interference.
She'll just shake her head.
And the kid's just like, well, we should probably keep on going.
I don't think that one guy wanted to follow along, so let's get ahead.
Oh, he didn't get in the elevator.
I know he didn't get in the elevator, but I don't think he wants to go up the elevator at all.
He said he'd stay back and reset.
Yeah. So we can carry on and we're not leaving him behind, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure even if we did keep going on, he'd catch up eventually. He seems a resourceful sort.
Let's
Knows
make
his way around
way.
down this place.
I would like to see the sun again.
Pretty sure we're walking and talking. That's what we're normally doing.
Well, she's trying to look forward.
Alright, going forward. Kid will be leading, and he's just pointing out, like, it'll still be a day or so before we can make it back up there. That did cut a lot of time off on him. I'm surprised I'm still alive. That did not look trustworthy.
There were a lot of reasons to be
Kid.
surprised you're still alive, and things that didn't look trustworthy that we just got out of. Hopefully there aren't many more as we continue forward.
Something to note for you. You guys haven't seen anything, but a lot of those old bruises for you, Chani, since you mentioned and we're looking at them earlier, a lot of them have, like, made days worth of healing.
Well, I also med-packed them, so...
Yeah, like, there's closing, and then there's doing, like, the med pack for that, and then there's, like, it's just natural process is...
Can I?
He's already halfway done.
Well, is it just like a
Can I
Twilight
feel
thing?
if he's force sensitive?
Huh?
Can I feel if he's force sensitive?
You can attempt.
I would like to attempt.
Make a just general wisdom check. And for a Twilight, make a lore check to see if it's something they can do.
Well, I mean, have we
15.
seen it with Sorsha?
No?
Okay.
Nothing force-wise seems to be coming off of him. He doesn't seem force-sensitive.
16?
No, it doesn't seem to be something from what you've heard Twilights can do.
Okay.
You don't know what it'd be from.
Gotcha.
It's just, you know, for a fact that the Twilights don't have a built-in healing factor, effectively.
Gotcha. And counts roll?
I had
Yeah,
15.
I told him. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
told
said-
him about that.
he
He
said-
can feel it. He just there's no force sensitivity coming off the kid.
Okay. Well, she doesn't have anything in particular to say about that, so...
Oh, you guys keep on walking? Anybody have anything to say before it rounds off for a night?
No.
Alright, so finding a spot, just stops at a small enclave, but unlike the guy who would push out like a panel and stuff, you watch as the kid just sits down, pulls something, and then like wiggles back into what looks like a set of cables hanging, and he just says, "Make get a place that he needs to sleep." And he just kind of like huddles back into it, and he's really hard to see.
I'll take first watch.
Mortimer's in constant watch. Everybody else just take your naps.
Yeah. Okay. Keep forgetting that bug is always watching. He's just gonna lean up against the wall and go to sleep.
All right. Anybody have anything in preparation for the night? Any of that?
New.
Alrighty. Then I suppose, since everybody's going to sleep, Eric, you can make a perception check with the Mortimer.
Okay.
Hold on, I think I sent you an image of. Can you look at the model?
I think.
Its perception would be a +4.
Okay. 19.
All right, set through the night. Nothing really kicks off. It's just nothing that'll signal you to wake up. You actually get a decent sleep here. And morning comes. You guys wake up. Kid's actually still there. Mildly surprising. That Mortimer you're looking at Mortimer didn't give you any indication the kid moved in front of him at all.
Have they been replaced with a Naruto log and we haven't noticed it yet?
I mean, he's still woven back into the cables.
Okay.
He heals quickly because this is a skinwalker taking his shape
Yeah, I'm patting
And
myself
his
down.
edge.
Everything's still here.
and his edge.
Patting yourselves down. You don't find anything missing, Joran?
Do I have all my sabers?
All your sabers are there.
Make ready for the next day's travel.
I also want to like check myself.
All your stuff's there, Eva.
Out of the vines, ready to hike, kid?
Let's get moving.
He
Soon as we get to
slowly
the
but
sun.
surely pulls himself out of the cables that have been dangling and he was in.
Sooner we
just
see the sun
stretches
again,
and
the better.
slips the backpack on and goes, I guess so.
Is Sorsha awake?
Yes.
And you guys start off, and I'll say probably 4 in the afternoon after a long trekking through tunnels, climbing, and some like what seems counterintuitive that you go back down some, but then brings you up. The kid swears it's faster. Eventually, you guys make it back to the lower levels of what's considered the upper areas. And you're back in civilization, and you have full surface there, Chani, if you were checking.
I have full service. Okay.
Connection. Full
Gotcha.
connection now.
Full service. I heard full surface and I got confused. Okay.
Yeah, you're still very far, like, you're still a ways down, but you're back in, like, the civilized or kept,
In that
upkept
case.
area.
She'll go ahead and put out a little call.
Who you calling?
The individual that told us to go down here and find an individual.
Alright, it takes a short little bit, but then you get a... Are you just doing it on audio over the comm, or, like, an actual...
Well,
HoloNet?
probably HoloNet if that's the easier one. Just
About
because
the same for you,
I
honestly.
don't know what they really have going on.
It takes a minute, and, like, you have to call back a second time, and then he pulls it, and he's, like, obviously been in the middle of cooking or something. It's getting close to, like, what would be dinner rush time, probably. And he just answers it. Yeah. Yep, sorry, what? I missed the call earlier.
Status update, we're out of the depths. And we have who we think is him, if he would. And she's gonna either try to angle to where he can see them, or go over by them.
Ignorant, he can see it. He's just like, yep, that's him. How far are you guys out?
Does Johnny know?
Depends on where you guys are going. Are you know if you're heading straight to him, or are you going something else with the kid?
Well, we're heading
What would you
straight
like to
to
tell
him
him?
at the moment.
Alrighty. So probably only a couple hours, 2, 3 to get back up.
All right. Should no other delays occur, should only be about 2-3 hours or so.
Oh, that's good. He'll be back tonight. We can have our sit down.
All right, well, we're heading that way.
I suppose I shall see you all when you get here. Keep an eye on him. He is not afraid to run.
That is what we were contracted for. And bloop.
Boop,
Soon as
hangs
it's
up.
off. Soon as it's off. If he tries to run again, I don't want to play. Just trank his ass. Just trank his ass. I'm tired of the crap.
Well, hold on. Because there is a line of questioning that hasn't been explored yet.
You do you. That's my vote.
Why are you running off and going down into the underbelly and doing things like that when you obviously don't have to?
Why not? I don't want to live with him my whole life. Might as well get a start.
So it's just an act of civil disobedience?
Label it what you want. I don't wish to be there for much longer. He may be happy with his cafe and running it. I don't want to.
Okay, so it's just an act of civil disobedience. In that case, it's none of my business.
But I've gotten you guys to the floors. You're back up top. I have a job to deposit.
So do we.
Well, they have to do theirs first.
That's fine. They can do it, but so do we.
So as far as whomever it is that you're supposed to be delivering to, you can tell them that you acquired yourself an entourage of other ne'er-do-wells and guards upon your very successful quest. And if they
You know, I was starting to think you might be intelligent.
well, the intelligent thing is for you to be having a dead drop with your special thing, not actually be handing it to them, because if you do that, there's nothing to stop them from, eliminating you if it's something that they don't want people to know that they have.
You have a point? But I don't have a guaranteed payment for my dead drop either.
If you're
And you
working
also
with
start talking.
seedy people, you don't have a guaranteed anything, kid.
But if I'm there, I can guarantee some things, and he's just gonna keep walking.
You can guarantee something.
I don't know. He might cut himself on his own edge.
Yeah, that's about the only thing he's gonna be cutting. And I'm just gonna walk along behind him.
Okay. It'll be a little while. Another while of walking. You guys probably won't get up there in that 2 to 3
Johnny's
hours you
gonna
mentioned
send a-
you're noticing.
What equates to a fucking text message over the count that just says, over, under, what's the chance they have the crystal in their bag?
Hmm. What crystal? What was the crystal about again, Matt?
That was our
Mr. Mog. Yeah.
that was our original thing that we're supposed to be getting in the vault, that some particularly small individual was able to get through and acquire. And we have in our midst a particularly small individual that acquired something, ran off while the heat was on, and is now trying to get back up.
Mm-hmm.
Sense force.
Sense force.
Sense force. Marking points off.
I need to look at sense force again. Sorry, I was pulling it up. I knew it was coming, but loading times.
What, you mean whenever I pointed it out down there in the Undercity?
Yeah. I just didn't pull it up until you actually started to mention.
I don't know if I said anything whenever
30 feet.
the person was giving us the quest to go grab the kid.
I'm pretty sure you did, like slyly, and I don't think anybody counted.
Sense Force is the first level, right?
Yep. For the duration, you sense the use of force or its presence in an inanimate object within 30 feet of you. If you sense the force in this way, you can use your action to determine the direction which it originates, and if it's in line of sight, you see a faint aura around the person
Okay.
or object from which the force
Probably all
originates.
your crystals, my thing.
The crystal in my gun.
I'm gonna say from the kid because you're focusing on the kid right now. You get 3 different pings, basically. 2 of them are smaller and seem to be in the bag, and there's one that's a bit larger, but it's very, very faint.
I'll text Chani back. There are 3 things in his bag.
Well, another message. I imagine that whatever it was would probably have some rudimentary form of shielding anyway. If you have a preference on how to deal with this, do tell me.
I'll text her back. I'm kind of bad at the non-lethal thing when using a lightsaber.
You guys are now in a bit of like what's effectively a seedier area.
They've also been healed up, so they might not go down if I just happen to trank them.
I mean,
Now that he's had a full night's sleep, the guy, almost all of his injuries do indeed look gone.
I mean, I can get rid of a leg or something. But that's not the best option here. Can anyone here pickpocket? Super good. Sending over to Chani.
She'll send back, no, tech is my domain. Also, there is the
Okay,
issue
sure.
of getting him back to where he needs to be.
Hmm.
Now I
You guys are
understand.
starting to enter a large building now.
Now I understand that there is the idea of, I wonder why those people are on their devices, but we all know that in the day and age that we live in, that as soon as cell service returns, people go fucking apeshit. So,
Oh yeah.
Count is clearly just a dad on Spacebook.
yes.
Warren doesn't look to have any technical devices besides like the standard comlink stuff.
And
Only the gods know what's
probably
in your
about
helmet.
now. Probably about now. He just sits down at a table in this. It's like a. How to put it? Like a lounge area almost. Like. Not a cafe because there's not really any snack things around. It's just a meet and greet area. Almost like you'd see a lot of the tables set up on campuses or like large institute areas. There's like a meet and greet area where people just sit down at tables and talk and chat and things. And he just sits down there and waits.
And we're back in good service land, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Mortimer's gonna find himself a nice place to hide. As
Okay.
stealthily as possible.
Make a stealth check with him.
Eh.
That has a +4, no, +5 to it now. I have the thing for him I need to send to you.
Good. 23.
Alrighty.
Mortimer's a stealthy bug.
Five minutes pass. 10 minutes pass.
Attaching in these 5, 10, whatever, however many more minutes. He's just Jordan's just attaching some of the fucking teeth from the cats onto the gun in various ways.
Alrighty. I'll just be working on that. About the
That'd be
15-minute mark, he's just gonna ask you to wait here for a moment. It's like, it's not worth running at this point. I'll deal with
Mortimer.
insight.
Invisible. Tailing.
Yeah. And you walk and watch up and count. He's probably about 50 feet away, and a guy walks up to him. And as soon as he hits within, like, I'm going to give you the 60-foot range, something's wrong with this guy.
Bad juju.
Bad
Twisted. Twisted as shit. Like, this is not great. And if you're all watching with Mortimer, you see him pull out of a backpack a very familiar safety deposit box.
Wait, he took the whole box?
The entire
Yeah.
drawer was missing.
Yeah.
Like, you could pull the drawer out, and then there was something in it, and it looks like a safety deposit box, like a lock box almost, you know? It matches what had been in other lock boxes in the room.
Probably sitting close enough to count so that if need be, I can just go, look at these.
And it clicks open, and Mortimer's at a bad angle right now. So he doesn't see it right now. You can move it around possibly, but it's open right now.
He's invisible. He can find an angle.
You flare around and you see what, to the best of your knowledge, is a weird, odd crystal device, strange, like cubish shaped. And and then it shuts, and he just hands it to the guy.
What does the guy
And the
look
guy
like?
slips something to him. You can't see the guy very well, cloaked up.
I meant like how big, humanoid.
Definitely humanoid, probably the like 5'11" area, maybe between like 5'11", 6'2" area.
Okay.
Would look like
Um,
not a huge, but not a slim, kind of like a mediocre.
How do the hands look?
Well, whatever the case, Mortimer's taking a picture.
Very pale.
Or I'm taking a screenshot, to be more precise.
Like the hand itself is looks humanoid, but very pale with like an odd tinge to it.
like kind of decrepit a bit.
That's not the right term. It looks. The only off bit is the fact that it's pale and with an odd colorish tinge, like a grayish tinge to it. And it takes it, and it slips something to the kid. He nods, and it starts to walk off, and he starts to walk back to you guys.
Mortimer, I have spares. Tail the box as much as possible.
Okay. Going off the 23.
Yeah.
You have him slip down. He gets just grabs onto a piece of the cloak.
Once the kid, though, is
Can
back
kid
in
walk?
the area, y'all done?
Let's head that way. No point in wasting time for this.
There are a couple of reasons that I agree with you with that right now. Let's get.
Oh, probably. And then, guys, we guess we'll all start to migrate back up to him, up to the cafe.
So sheer curiosity here, kid. How much did he stiff you? Because I know
You know,
what your bounty was worth.
I also know what I got was more than my bounty.
Do you know what your bounty there, who you might have just given it to?
It's not my concern.
So you should have about 3 million credits or so?
He's just gonna keep quiet. He's like, shrug his shoulders.
Count is very uneasy.
That was something twisted that walked into your range of fucked up.
Yes.
Yes, Count. Outside he looks fine, but inside he has butterflies in his stomach.
You guys have about 2 hours to do anything you would like to, any interactions to happen.
Count, you want a
It's
picture
on the way
of
up.
that fine individual?
What?
Do you want a picture of that fine individual?
Yes, please.
Oh, picture of him? You wouldn't have been able to get a picture of him. You would have been able to get a picture of the box. Inside the box, I thought that's what you were asking for.
I thought that Mortimer was able to get what equated to at least a generalization of their shape, figure, things like that.
Yeah, you would have gotten shape figure, thing like that. Just no like face or anything like that.
Okay.
I need to go visit my new friends.
Yeah. seeing what I see here, that sounds like it's a thing for them. Kid, we're gonna deliver you back to the person that cares for you. You're gonna run off again. It's what's gonna happen here. I'll try to explain it to him as best as I can, but please. Understand. Some people should not be worked for.
You're falling on deaf ears, Johnny.
Make another persuasion check.
I get to say things. There,
I'll say, can I help? Can I help with this and just, kid?
How would you be helping?
Probably
say,
by saying
kid,
some things.
Yes, I've been saying some things.
That's why I'm asking.
Kid, there's a difference between your standard scum and villainy, and then there's just evil in this world. Incomprehensible, irreconcilable evil. Evil that changes the course of galactic history as it has many times before. That tends to carve a bloody path of suffering for everyone involved.
Roll your persuasion, Johnny.
Do I get advantage because count?
You get advantage.
Alright. Come on, Dax.
Can, at the thought of that, I know history wasn't Jordan's strong suit, but at the, wording of what, Count just said, can I make a lore or history check?
You could make a lore at disadvantage, but it'll be really hard for you to get this.
I got, amazingly, 2 natural 20s, but I don't think that
Jesus.
my persuasion thing is actually as high as Count's, so just 27.
Remember, as everybody's forgetting, crits are a thing on skill checks.
Yeah, I know, but he could have made it a 30.
It does affect.
And
it
I'm
does affect
passively
how
aware of
much
it.
it's a crit. Yeah, it does affect how much there is of a crit. It is. It's like, and he'll just sit there, and again with the silent, like you can see the contemplation of in his eyes of it. He'll just
You've got a person that
keep
cares
it in
about you.
consideration.
Some people can be good, especially since you said that yours wasn't a case of him mistreating you. Let's not get them
I'll
killed for
give him
nothing.
that. He treats right.
Let's not get him killed for nothing, okay?
Why do you think I'm doing this? And that's all he'll give you before he falls silent.
Now let's get.
Anything else?
I got a 14 plus 3.
None of it really clicks.
Okay.
Like something's you could tell something meaningful just went in that conversation, but nothing about it clicks too much. Anything else you guys would like before you guys reach the cafe?
Passive investigation on the building that we were just in via the interwebs. and some insight onto what Mortimer still sees.
At this point, Mortimer has blooped out of range.
Damn. Well, hopefully he's recording things, so whenever he comes back, he can tell me. And I'm gonna go ahead and...
Comlinks are effectively planet-wide, but Mortimer takes a bit more than the standard comlink.
Yeah, that's fair. But before we're out of range, she would set him to record and then return in probably about half an hour.
Okay. Are you putting a location in for it to return to?
Yes, where we should be within range.
Okay. For the building you just went into, you could roll an investigation as you start digging through the web.
Let's see what we can find out about where we just were. 22.
Damn. So you start digging through, and through these standard methods, it starts to come up. It's just a gathering place, a hangout place. All kinds of people go, all kinds of people meet up. They sit and enjoy the area, the atmosphere of talking. On some of the less than, how should we put it? The sites less on the up and up. You see a number of places that have obviously accessing records you probably shouldn't be looking at, for what most people think. a number of drops and pickups and meetups have occurred at this place. So this would not have been the first one.
So this is just a popular exchange location. Nothing specific about
It's
it.
not-
Understood.
It's not particularly popular, it's just it's been used. It is on the more down low.
Okay.
Like, out of, like, maybe 1 out of 5 on a really, really busy year have occurred there. And even then, they all seem rather minor. Anything else?
Just hope and pray that Mortimer does well.
All right. Count, Joran, Ipa, Sorsha, anything on the way?
No,
Sorsha, conquer the
not from joining you.
Sorsha, what?
Sorsha's for the ride.
I'm looking forward to some good food.
Some actual food? Yeah, be nice.
Nothing from me.
Good food, good information.
So, about this point, you'll be arriving at the cafe that you met Sim at previously, walking in. And as you walk in, the person at the counter looks up and sees you guys coming back in, and before you guys even nearly get to the door, that lady's you talked to her last time is already moving towards the back. And very quickly, a very large man comes out. The doors fly open. Storming
Drop.
forward, he looks truly pissed. But before anything else, he grabs this kid, and this kid disappears in the hug that happens in front of you.
Alrighty then.
Before it calms down, and then he just turns to the rest of you and is just, thank you.
Sorsha wipes a single tear from her face.
Don't thank us yet.
He's gonna hand you a data card and just there's that. I need to go. And looks down, have a talk.
Do try to keep in mind that he's going to want to do things that he's not supposed to do. Just because that's how people are. The harder you try to keep a hold of them, the more likely they are to go off and get themselves hurt. Be kind. Obviously,
I'm aware.
I know that that's
it's
where
not
you're
what
coming
he's doing
from.
that's the problem. It's that he disappeared for a week right now. And I appreciate the effort. But I'm still having a talk with him, and we're still... He looks down. Something he should have known a bit better than. He's smart at this. And this kid's face is a, brick wall, basically. It's as flat as can be. And as he starts to drag him off, because this is all happening quickly, he just gave you a data card and starts to pull him off. The kid steps away, and he pulls out his pad that he's been on periodically throughout the trip, and basically sends something to yours and just says, you'll want to take a look at that before they head upstairs.
Okay, let's see if this data
And
card
as
has
he's
any-
out, he speaks something to you watch him lean over to the person at the counter, and she sends somebody over, and it's just one of the waiters, just meals on the house tonight.
Well, there's that. I'll have a look at this data card while we're here, see if it says anything other than what we already know.
Okay, so looking at the data card first.
And Mortimer should be on his way, or
Fucking bummed.
confirmed destroyed by now.
I haven't gotten anything back from him just yet. So, looking through the data card, there's not a lot on it. But what is on it seems to be it gives you a district location, a rough outline of a picture of what is labeled as the person who posted this.
And it's not where
And
we
there's
were
no
to
name
deliver
attached to it. Alias, it's like alias question mark. There's no name attached to it, but it's a heavily robed figure, and you can see a little bit of similar skin that you saw through Mortem. And he's walking away, and then it shows him exiting a building in one of the lower out of the way districts. Of course,
They don't look like the individual that Johnny saw in session 0, do they?
make an intelligence check.
Session 0, by the way, Johnny, alone, went to a forest moon kind of dealio, got lost, it was fucking miserable, and made our way to a base for our bounty giver to retrieve some data. In that, though, she found that it had already been destroyed by some malevolent force user. Now, that was a check of what kind?
Intelligence.
A base
Just straight
intelligence
intelligence.
check. That is a 23. I love this purple die.
Yeah, so you watch Chani as she pulls up the data, and you guys, I assume you'll and the rest of them see, or no?
Yeah.
Pedora.
At least.
So the rest of you see, and very quickly, suddenly Chani flicks the screen off and starts going through, bringing up camera feeds, flicking through. And you guys don't really get enough time to register what's happening on the screens before Chani's already flicking through, and then she's back to the original one. Chani, this individual seems to be of similar build and be of the right build and the skin tones you've seen.
I think I've seen their work before.
And if it is the same individual you also remember what occurred.
And she will roughly lay out exactly what I just said to the party.
So, what I'm understanding here is the kid's the one who took our package in the first mission. And he gave it off to someone who now we have to go hunt, right?
Well, if we took it from the kid, then the kid would be dead.
Yes, I know. I don't plan.
And as I understand
waiting.
it, we don't kill kids.
No, we don't.
But there
I'm
wasn't
ready.
a lot in it. It gives you like a location. It gives you like a couple spots where this person's been seen as well.
So basically, our quest reward is exactly as much information as Mortimer gleaned through a door.
Maybe.
Shit.
I don't think this is an individual that we hunt. Not yet.
I don't like failing jobs.
Maybe not the job for us.
So how do we... Okay.
You know, if we go talk to Morag about this, he's just gonna fucking send us on it.
Yeah, let me... How do we want to sell this? Because we...
I'm gonna go talk to the Sentinels about this.
Yes, that's the thing that we need to do, but how do we want to sell this to the person who contracted us? Because, realistically, we had what we needed in our possession, and in order to save the life of one individual, we let them get whatever it was on that thing they wanted.
You know Morag better
Somebody-
than I do. Was he the type of person to kill kids?
She didn't know him very much better. I didn't know him all that well.
Johnny,
Go on.
if we had done anything in that room, there might not have been a.
Oh no, not in the room, before we got there. While he was asleep. Anything. As soon as we had the dead drop package, it was within our grasp. Obviously doing something at the moment would have been incredibly stupid, but we could have just knocked the kid out, delivered him here, said, it's done, and then...
And then the kid would be dead, including this place and
Yes.
everybody in it. All that, yeah, I know.
But if
From
we
my
say
understanding of
that...
Morag, I don't think he's
We
he's
have
just
to-
like, oh, I'm gonna kill everybody. He doesn't seem the sleazeball that the dude downstairs is.
No,
so.
but there's a likelihood that he's very much just to the business side of things. And that was very much not a business side, that was a... random act of kindness.
I mean, from everything I've seen, he says he's told us to do it the way we think we should do it. So,
That
don't know.
can't include willingly failing the mission.
Well, probably not.
So, go on, Count. I think you have something to say.
Let's see what other information we can get from the Sentinels to add to our story.
So
Because I also think suicide is not part of our mission.
let's hold off on that. That
Let's hold off for a day or two.
that should be doable. Eva, Sorsha, either of you have an opinion on what's going on? It seems that, given that we all walked into that building and I'm the only one with a conceivable face protection, we're all marked as a group now.
I mean, my helmet was on.
Yeah, but you never take
Your
your helmet
helmet
off.
also makes you distinguishable.
Exactly.
And the teeth on your
Sorsha
rifle.
has really to say.
I don't really have an opinion either.
She's like, I've been you guys buddies for a little bit.
Well, I hope that we're actually rather good buddies.
If I get paid, I
'cause
don't care.
If you don't get... Well, you might not be getting paid is the problem.
If we weren't good buddies, I wouldn't have just had to cuddle up in the same damn
I'm-
love hotel room that Count was in. So I think we're pretty damn good friends at this point.
Oh, and by the way, if the kid ever wonders what his payment is, it's his life.
I know.
Fair.
Because there's no
That's
way
a
in
fair
hell he could have defeated us all. And if we took his gem, he'd be dead. So would everyone he cares about.
And probably
Seems like a
us.
fair trade.
Well, if we get the fuck off planet quick enough, we might be able to elude it.
Mm,
That's why I want to deal with this problem. But if Count's that freaked out about this weirdo and Count's some weird force user thing,
If this individual was omniscient, then he would have already acquired the gem from the vault area before any of us had anywhere near a chance to get over there. The fact that it was still en route means that he only just managed it before us.
well, there's also omniscience and then there's omnipotence.
Force users also tend to give off a certain signature each when it's not clouded by something else. And the same can go for certain specific objects. So, if it's one thing he was looking for, he could probably just follow wherever it went.
We'll figure something else out. We always do. I mean, for God's sakes, we dealt with a fuck ton of invisible cats.
Where is Mortimer?
He still hasn't come back.
Wah, wah.
Still
left
not
us.
within range.
Does the
He left
bug have a
range, just no way to
self-destruct?
tell if he's alive or dead.
Like, 3 people tried to talk at once. Let's say Robert first.
No, I was just saying out of character. I mean, he was out of range. There's no way to tell if he's alive or not.
Yeah.
In character, does the bug have a self-destruct? I know you're probably attached to it, but at this rate, if you set it to follow that dude, then it could be being hacked into and all of our information stolen from us.
No, it's properly distinguished from all of my things.
You say so. I trust your judgment on these things more than I do. More than I know about. Yeah.
He knows that if he's gonna get got, his shell is completely disposable and to just make rid of it. Wipe it and just have a fun little statue thing.
Well, then you got it covered. I need to buy more power cells for my pack.
Power cells are rechargeable, Jordan. You know that.
Then I need to buy a recharge station. Because I don't have that either.
Just plug it into the shop. Just plug it to the
Just
nearest outlet.
shove it into the wall. Yeah, that works.
I'm pretty sure wristpads are technically allowed to recharge power cells.
I don't have a wristpad.
I know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, well, before
Okay.
any more doom and gloom happens, let's try to enjoy our meal and then... Do you think that your sentinels want... Or, well... Do you think it wise for all of us to go to your sentinels since we were just in the same building with that individual, just in case?
I mean, of everyone here, you're the only one else that would provide any information, really. But if everyone wants to come, they didn't. I don't think they'd have any issue with everyone coming.
Well, if we're treating this as a group, then it's best not to just have us each spread to the four corners for no reason.
Aren't those the police force?
No, they're not. That's the Imperials, but they're their own
Well,
thing.
Don't they help out or some nonsense? Don't they keep the peace, whatever?
They take care of people who abuse the Force and would stir up.
Okay,
So they're kind of like the Force police.
Yeah, wouldn't they be kind of cross? You know what I'm getting at here.
I have done nothing illegal.
Just let Chani and myself do the speaking, and it'll be fine. Besides, you can, there's a weapon room you can go play in.
Okay.
There is also one thing I need to see in that weapon room while we're on this planet.
Whatever y'all say. I trust your judgment on this.
Whatever the case, I want to get off planet as soon as possible.
Abso-fucking-lutely agreed.
Same.
And now that doom and gloom is done, how's the food coming?
Food came out while you guys were all talking. If you guys wish to start eating, it's very, very good meal.
Sorsha just inhales.
You got a very large portion because of the previous eating habits.
Just another portion of a lot of high fucking calorie stuff.
Yep.
Who the fuck is texting me at goddamn 10:30 at night? Fuck.
So, from what I
So
understand,
unprofessional.
is you guys are intending to head to the Sentinels after this?
Either that or the next morning, but
Up to you guys. That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
I know I can at least get lodging there.
I think we probably want to try to see if they have lodging for all of us there.
I mean, if they don't, the Mandalorians will. I know it doesn't fucking matter, but it's a
And,
thought.
there,
Oh,
and there's Chani's hideout there.
let's just
temporary.
assume that's burned so that the person that, you know, owns and lives nearby doesn't get caught up in whatever we might have just gotten ourselves into.
Alright. Force police can't save us. We'll go see about Mandalorians.
Meanwhile, I guess I'm gonna load up another body from Mortimer and assume the worst for the other one.
About now, you get a data stream from Mortimer.
Friend!
However, the shape of said thing is nearly non-functional.
Is this
And a
still
lot of the
working?
data is corrupted, but you get an image of loosely hanging cloak. You see basically what's part of a neck of a heavy cloaked figure as it's like brought around from where it was clinging on the back. Suddenly something looks like something grabbed it, and it's just you watch as the view set brings around and you see a very like gaunt, like the muscles there, but you know there's normally a bit of this is what you got. This is like a saved data pack, effectively. You got
Okay.
what wasn't corrupted by damage. It's like there's thick corded muscle to the neck, but it's almost like emaciated. Like there's no fat. There's no extra fatty tissue. And the eyes, and it's just a very, even to you, it's just a very hateful and depraved set of eyes.
But are they yellow?
They are. and that's where it cuts
Okay.
off.
Is it human?
You don't know. You only got to see a little bit of it.
Race is not distinguishable. I get it.
Mortimer is damaged. Its sensors were damaged from whatever pinched it and brought it around, and
Well-
it's nearly non-functional. Like, it's trying to make it back to you, but it'll take a long while before it can actually make it to you.
Mortimer, you're.
Like-
From what you can tell, it's effectively crawling on the ground, from what you can tell.
It looks like Mortimer got, well, mostly destroyed, and he still managed to crawl his way back. You're a brave
What?
little bug. Go ahead and erase that body. I'll get you a new one.
Alright, you're at the range. You can bring the software back to it.
Did he was he sharing all of this? Was he sharing the
Yes.
stuff with us here? Okay. Count just yeah. Seeing those eyes.
Effectively, it just confirms what you felt earlier.
All right, boys. We got and well, I should say girls more so for this party. Everyone though. Full-fledged dark side user on our hands. Who likes electricity? Or being choked?
I mean, that's a
having a-
personal question.
Or having their brain kind of mushed?
I mean, Chani is the only one who has seen it. There wasn't a lot of that. There was a lot of deep cuts along things.
And lightsabers.
Not lightsaber burns.
Well, Count's just listing off things that Force users.
Oh no, I'm telling Chani because she had a really high memory check earlier. So I'm giving her what she would have on
She's
the
a smart
situation.
girl.
I know, that's why I'm trying to give you what your character's intelligence would give you.
Count's just listing off things the dark side users have that he knows of.
Okay.
Ac- Actually, if it's the same individual, they're more of a traditionalist. Expect more a bunch of dashes and choppy chops without the magical glowing plasma swords.
Oh, sorry. If they're that kind, then their body may be nigh destructible, and you may stab them with a lightsaber or a briar blade, and they may just laugh at you. If that's what the stories are true, at least.
That doesn't exactly make it better.
Oh no, some of these people are, if at least in the legends, are nigh immortal.
And they
That's
just
kind of why they go on to have vast empires.
and she'll just kind of look off and to a slight distance and kind of with a blank expression on her face and go, and they just got whatever piece of information they so dearly required.
Everything's breaking.
Yeah, but let's hope that us saving this one person in their group didn't just cost untold numbers. So much more.
Potentially trillions.
That's the risk you take when saving a life. And it's a risk I'd take 100 times.
Alright, let's get to your sentinels and give them all the information that we have. It looks like whatever we're dealing with is... I don't know how to deal with it.
Come on, Force Police.
So, finding to the Sentinels, walking in, it's fairly late. The lobby is much emptier than you was last time, but might be due to the evening hours. And walking in, before you even get to it, you do see a familiar face walking out. It was the human who was working in the lightsaber room. And as he's walking out with something in his hand, he'll look up at you and wave like, "Hey!" And start walking
Anything
over
new?
towards you. Well, I made it into something. And he flicks it on, and a blade comes out. And it's really weird, because instead of circular, it's square.
I'm not going to question the physics on that. I don't know enough
And
to
then he
question
shuts it
them.
back off. So what brings you back?
Bad news. Bad news
Oh.
bears indeed.
What kind of bad news?
Dark side user.
Mm-hmm.
Who just got a holocron?
Hmm.
I got a picture of their face.
Where was this? You got like the lower like jaw and neck
I and eyes.
and eyes. Are you showing them a picture of it?
Yeah.
All right,
More
looking at it.
More importantly, it
Hmm.
might be what they've gotten if you could recognize that.
They all look
And
distinct. They don't all look the same.
Haze.
This is.
Some of them do, some of them don't. It's really weird. It's usually
Ah.
personalized because of actually making one is difficult.
Holocrons can be cubes, spheres, triangles.
But at the same time, you guys wouldn't be aware of that
Yep.
entirely. So,
Yep.
Continue on. He for you count, he's normally a cheerful guy. He's always smiling, and it's actually down into a frown and thinking at this point.
You mentioned what they got here. I have a screen grab of it. Dink. Show him the
Well, we
image
can
of the
check
panda.
it. He's like, well, we can check it for stuff, but
I didn't know if it
offhand,
was
I don't
distinct.
recognize any of this. I
didn't
recognize
know-
obviously what they are, but not the individual or the artifact. How long ago was this and where?
This was earlier today, and what was the name of the building?
Johnny will share the location.
We didn't really have a name of a building, but you can share the like rough address of it.
I could
And this was
definitely
a few hours ago.
yes, and I could definitely feel the presence of them.
Timing's wonderful. Brav's not here anymore. Neither is Favom, and those are the two I would refer to for this.
So what you're saying is the big guns are not on.
The big guns got charged with something happening on another planet. They took off earlier today.
Hmm. Is there anyone coming back? Other big guns?
We don't keep very many big guns as you put it on a singular planet. Not very many people reach high heights like them, and we kind of have to have them spread out to reach different areas. Very big galaxy.
That is fair.
As
Maybe
arrogant
sometimes-
as this sounds, I'm the next big gun, and this is a bit beyond what I'm reaching for from what you've said.
Hmm.
I'm
And
mostly a techie.
would it be okay for all of us to stay here for the night before heading off planet?
Did he see you?
He didn't look directly at me, but if I could sense him,
He can
I have no
sense you.
doubt he could sense me.
Just lost.
In that case, I can probably swing it as protection for the night.
Yeah, we just lost Max. That's just bad.
Also, can we fire the
Hold on.
light bow? Is
Are you back on, Max? Okay.
Hello.
Sorry, I was just checking to make sure.
Did she say something?
Let's see
over
what
the
You can
microphone?
do.
Because if so, it didn't come through.
No, she just gave me the thumbs up.
Okay.
less
I
You
still
can
serious?
fire it now. We finally figured out something with it.
Let's see. Less serious. Can we fire the light bow?
Absolutely, that we can go do.
Joran, you'll
Although I'm
like
finally
this.
getting an idea of how it works.
Don't hold such reservations. As to what I will and won't like.
You like shooting things, don't you?
Depends on what it is.
Let's go shoot a thing.
And you'll take you back, and you guys can fire it a couple times. It's very odd. It's as I described the other day. It's a like curved metallic bow almost, except at the handle, you grab and pull off a thin cylinder that's maybe half an inch in diameter and a couple inches long, and energy beam effectively connects from the points of the bow to the ends of that, and it forms a light arrow formed of the plasma energy for a lightsaber, and then it fires it off, and that's more or less what's happening with it. Although everybody's decent with it, for the higher dexterity characters, of course, you'll be a bit better at it, but nobody would have proficiency in it. Light bows are a fairly weird thing. This guy literally just introduced them from what everybody knows about.
It's, which makes
Basically
even less
what's-
sense for the Wookiee to have one.
Yeah, basically what's running through
Mhm.
Joran's head is, thanks, I hate it.
It's not a rapid fire gun or an outrageous gun like you're used to for years.
Yeah, it's a. Oh God! I gotta do this again. What do you mean I gotta do this again? I want to pull the trigger. Why would I just pull the trigger and fire like 6 of those? Ugh.
And he at one point hands it off back to him, and you guys have been firing at targets and they're hitting thunk, hitting thunk, hitting thunk. He fires and it hits thunk and goes through and hits the sandbag setup, the effective like the wall that you would have behind a firing range setup,
Yeah,
and it just burrows into that.
that is its only saving grace.
How much,
Hey,
have
Eva.
you seen how many things it can go through yet?
A lot,
Has it gone through the wall on the other
Eva,
side?
you've been called.
maybe.
What's on
And
the
yeah,
other side?
even. Don't worry about it.
I meant if like, people are safe.
Yeah, Johnny called you.
Probably the bathroom.
Nobody's dead.
Well, you guys know how to heal, so. And there's
And
prosthetics.
yes, Chani just called for you. I'll let you guys have that.
Yeah, I didn't hear my name. Like, oh, what's going on?
Hey, Eva.
Yes.
I noticed that you have some proficiency with those little plasma sorty things, right?
Lightsabers.
Yeah. Well, I do know. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay. I do know the basics of swordcraft, but that particular variant has eluded me. Do you think you could, depending on how long it is we're going to be here, try to show me some of the basics?
I mean,
I say that is a night, and if you want sleep, probably not. I don't know.
Well, we may be here for more days, and also this sets up a passive thing as we continue forward.
Fair enough.
if you want, sure, I could do that.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Counts in the background with the Buster lightsaber, just like, oh.
Just picture you have it in two hands. You grip it both hands, and it's not like fancy movements. It's just up above head, straight down. Up above head, straight down.
He obviously knows what he's doing, but he also seems just a little bit unhinged whenever it comes to combat. I'd rather not have my teacher cut me in half.
We have training lightsabers for that.
She's lightly talking while you're using a buster sword. Shut up.
You don't hear this. You're too into You're into this moment.
Fair enough. This thing costs so much.
Really? The scientist guy next to you. Wait, really?
I mean, if you try to buy one outside, it's like close to 8,000 credits.
I mean, minus the crystal, it's like 40 credits to put together. At least I thought. What have you been making your lightsabers out of?
Frick.
The
Garbage.
issue the issue most of the time is the crystal and price markup.
They can go for a
Mostly.
bit outrageous.
Mostly the crystal. I picture with something like this, there are several inside of it.
On that one, yes. I mean, Marav has one where each one is a singular.
Okay,
I
we're
would find those sizes normally.
okay. We're now having long rest and various nice lighthearted activities happening. Unless there's any distinct roleplay things that want to be done here, can I suggest a break for a little bit, and while we collect ourselves and
Absolutely.
have some time to plan and stuff?
Do you have? Yep. I'll ask then. Yeah. Does anybody have anything they would rather do right now before break?
No, I was just gonna
Alright.
say to fucking count. And I gotta stop forgetting his fucking name. I
Just
was
look
gonna
at
say
the
to
stream.
count
They're all right there.
while he's playing with the Buster Saber. If we're here for a while, none of that lightsaber or force power crap, but you and I can fisticuff and train a little bit if you want. I need a training partner.
If you'd
It's
like,
where you punch people.
I'm not bad at hand-to-hand.
I'm not too terrible. I'm more of the quick jabber, less of the sock you in the face kind of dude, but you know,
Same for me.
then it'd be fun to take you on.
Saxophone music intensifies as we go to break.
Immediately, I thought,
Big yellow on break sign. Go.
I hate you and your fucking big yellow on break sign.
Shut up. It's amazing.
I don't know, why did it have to be on? Why did it have to
Oh
be?
damn!
Why did it have to be
I
fucking
haven't
yellow,
seen it.
dude?
Because I hate.
I haven't seen
I haven't seen it either. I'm on this. Oh. Oh.
Yes, Matt?
Did you just look at it?
I'll be right back.
Well, my
No,
screen
I'm
shared.
thinking about what choices have been made, and the choices that had have been made, and the consequences that could have been, and the consequences that are.
I laid it out pretty well.
I'm gonna let the dogs outside. I know what I'm doing.
Literally trillions, potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine.
On that fun note, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom.
Fair.
Let's do it.
I gotta let the dogs out with coyotes around. Woo.
Whoever's left, please sit here and vamp. I must go. I'm sorry.
So I find myself curious. Are we audible when it's on the on break side? Oh. Anybody else here? I love that you the tackle. You went for the tackle. Six.
I rolled a natural one.
For the tackle? How did you get a 6?
Never mind.
That was on your insight then.
Yeah.
Is anybody else here? I am alone. Fair.
So basically,
Anybody else back?
I'm here.
Hi.
hello.
Hi.
So I have a question. Are we audible when the on break sign's up?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said, hey, vamp.
Second one for another fun question.
Yep.
I was looking at Saltmar's thing.
Okay.
Color spray. Could that be flavored for glitter?
Yeah. Color spray is near useless, so if you want it to look like glitter, have fun.
I'm glad I
Honestly,
got
it's
them
just
to
there.
do that.
It's just there to be an asshole to guards and the like.
Yeah. But that campaign's a minute away.
Yeah, I know.
I've
I
got
just
a-
was curious when I was thinking about it.
Got a lot of groundwork
thought I would
to do
ask.
still. And plus, I also kind of need everybody else to have characters so I can put them in places and think of reasons.
Yeah, I need to send you that. Sorry.
Well, I know yours and Robert's. You're at the same spot. And I have his motivation more or less, so I can work with that. But everybody else joining, I have absolutely no clue.
Fair. Oh god, I thought you guys were gonna take the crystal. If I'm being honest.
I had it in the back of my head, but my damn nature came out and
Yeah.
Count
Yeah.
wasn't ready. Count is confident in his abilities. He was not confident in that fight.
no, you're pretty confident against the kid. We just needed him to get the backpack. Johnny knew he had it from the moment of, yeah, I think I have information on who has your thing. Go save this tiny child. You mean the one who could fit through small things like where we went through that's obviously been stealing things? Huh.
Yeah, I figured somebody would figure it out quick.
I thought about it, but I decided with Count's 12 intelligence and dealing with other things.
My nature came out and prevented me from just fucking stealing his shit and leaving him for dead.
Fair.
I mean, it wasn't so much my nature coming out of not wanting to kill innocent people for no reason. I use the word innocent lightly. But
In the grand scheme.
it was also a lot of like how I want to play the Mandalorian aspect of him, because Mandalorian is honor in combat, honor in this, honor in that, blah 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 blah, and killing a kid for no reason is just no honor.
But do we get a new Galactic Republic or Empire?
I'm back.
Stay tuned.
Hey,
It's a possibility.
Oh, and the lore check that I tried to do a bit ago was about Mandalorian lore. Like, yes, it was about Mandalorian lore for if you've heard the stories of the shadow weapons that happened during the Old Republic. It
Keep in
destroyed
mind that
Mandalore
who
5
knows?
and
Remember,
created-
these are kind of loose and fast with that stuff. A lot of the major events
I
didn't
know.
happen in this.
Ow.
Yeah, for this case, I get what you're saying, but for this case, it was if you had heard of this, that would have been, what
Yeah.
the hell? You read a book?
I mean, I have a 16 intelligence. Fuck you.
See, that's
True,
what
but still.
I phrased everything as legend or rumor, nothing concrete for the reasons.
Yep, because things can change.
It's also a case of what Count would have heard would have just been from young Jedi teachings and hearsay.
Yeah.
So it's a question of it's also the question of how much of it is overblown or actually the truth or misunderstanding.
Or what was lost during all the collapses.
As said, it's what he knows is legend.
Okay.
And how much of it was monstrous rumor to get you not to go playing with stupid shit.
Exactly. That's why everything was phrased as questionable.
Mm-hmm.
With it.
Are we all back?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
And that's why the sense of Mandalorian pride popped up and said everything can be killed.
Yeah, everything can be killed.
Ready to ready blah, 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 blah. Ready to continue?
I
don't know,
suppose
are
so.
I just
Are
can't
you,
talk.
Eric? Are you good?
All right, gonna remove my big yellow on break sign then. Pow.
Alright, so coming to after this, we will flash forward to the morning of. The morning after, I mean.
I'm gonna wake up early in the morning, go wake up Count, and see if he's ready to spar.
Yeah.
And Jordan will take his helmet off, his armor off, his guns off, and everything else off, and just stand there with his fist closed.
I like the thought that him doing this is actually a lengthy process just because the amount of shit he has on him. It's like it's one of those things of like, wait, did you get dressed? Take like 20 minutes getting dressed and fully armed to come here and then unarmed?
No, he falls asleep in his fucking armor.
So it smells bad.
That's why I
mean,
took a shower in it, nerd.
Hey, his armor got showered.
It still smells bad.
It probably smells moldy.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna have to be decontaminated, which is an easy fix for you.
Well, Joran probably
That is
smells
gross.
bad.
Is anyone else coming for early morning training?
Sorsha does not wake up.
Only if he was.
I am a tighter hoe. No.
Okay, then I'm in the interim just gonna check on my little AI to see if it's being more communicative. If not, then doing nothing.
What do you send into it?
Well, I told it to send its designate or otherwise thing it wants to be called to me.
It hasn't sent anything in at the moment.
Okay.
But if you're not prodding it, there's nothing happening at this moment.
I am not prodding it. I gave it the option of talking when ready.
Fair enough.
Because if it's a actual like learning thing, I might as well just treat it like a sentient organism. Especially given the
Alright.
showdown that I had with it back in the building.
You know, Joran, hand-to-hand combat's good, but something that you might actually need a bit of training on. This will help you out in general in the future if it ever comes up. Do you want to work on your resilience to basic force techniques?
I mean, never really encountered the Force, so I guess it would be a good idea.
Probably the most concerning one would be being disarmed. Sure, you could draw another weapon, but
And then he'll pick up the two-handed vibra sword, fumble with it a little bit because he fucking hates this thing, and it shows on his face because he doesn't have his helmet on, and just go, sure, try to rip this out of my hands, I guess.
I guess let us train over some of the basic things like push-pull, weapon disarming.
Alright. How long are you guys doing this?
Probably all day, or until we get interrupted, unless Count has anything to say about it.
Not unless anyone has anything else.
What is everybody else wanting to do?
Well, Eva
Say if
mentioned
there's
that
not anyone to interrupt us.
Eva
we
mentioned that she would assist me, so I'm hoping that she'll say something at some point.
Alright. Sorsha?
Sorsha just sits back watching. She doesn't really know.
I mean, you do know you're not confined to the building.
She doesn't know.
Okay. Just
Really
making sure
know.
you understand. So, Count and Jordan training some against Force. Is Eva and Chani working on some of that with the lightsabers? There are practice ones there.
It's really up to Even.
Eva?
I mean, it depends on where you want to start. If you just want to like figure out like sword techniques, or if you want to like learn how to use a lightsaber.
I'm decent with swordplay as it stands. And she'll kind of get down to her side and clink out the little collapsible vibro rapier that she has. I do know how to use things, I just not really those things. And she'll recollapse that one and put it back.
Definitely start with a training one.
Count says as he's trying to ripping weapons from
Probably the first or second time he actually gets it out of my hands, but I don't have a good strength mod. But around the third or fourth time, I expect it, and I'm like, no, mine.
I mean, it's just making a strength check over and over again, pretty much.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I probably fail a few.
It's hit and miss.
succeed.
You pass a good few, but you also fail a good few, effectively.
Yeah.
The point of the training is more so to get Jorin to the. It's like, hey, this is the Force messing with you, so he's more aware of what
Yep.
it feels like.
All right. So you two are training with that. Yeah, that's her. So all this is going on. You probably break for lunch for a little bit, but about 3 in the afternoon, if nobody does anything else, you'll see same guy that stumbled in before. Let me flip through his name. Sata. Stumble in. He doesn't look like he's sleeped. He looks pretty ragged.
Excuse me.
Very, definitely not in the best shape you've seen him. And he just kind of waves to you guys a little bit to bring you in. Sits down heavy on one of the chairs. All right,
While he starts to talk, I'm putting on my armor and everything.
fair. What got you guys involved with that crystal?
Fuck shit.
What is it?
What is it?
It's a holocron. What got you involved in it? And before
We
you
were-
guys answer, you need to consider this very carefully because this affects how things go.
We were paid to try and find it.
You were given a location then.
We weren't told what it was for, or what it did. We weren't told what it was for, what it did. We were just
What was the
told.
location you were given?
I'll look at Johnny.
It was in some, I don't really want to say seedy, but located in a building in a back alley, but by the time we got there it was already overrun with various dead bodies, and there'd obviously been some terrible conflict. As a matter of fact, it was probably seen on the news, before the tower fell. Things went crazy for a couple days there. But by the time we actually got inside, it was already pilfered.
Did you guys manage to find out who took it?
It was just some
And
kid.
how you got an image of it?
Say again?
And how you got the recording of it in transaction?
It was just some kid, and if we had taken it from him, then he was guaranteed dead. Obviously, we didn't know who it was going to, otherwise we would have probably put a stop to it.
You know how the Force works.
we were
You know how
hoping
the
it
Force
was...
works. A series of coincidences that aren't actually coincidences.
Nothing's a coincidence anymore.
We were hoping that it was just going to be some collector or some enthusiast. Either way, they weren't someone who was going to take kindly to them not getting their thing, and we didn't want this misguided but still young person to meet an end.
Can I get a name of this child? We will have to talk to him at the minimum.
I don't think that they're gonna know anything else except
Right.
what I just said. They were just contracted to bring it to a location.
I understand. Given the situation, he's probably not in much more than normal for thievery, but I need to be able to speak to this child or the sentinels, someone able to.
I'll give Count a glance for a look of approval.
Yep.
She will divulge the name.
Alright. You see him note it down. And this man looks exhausted and he's tired. He probably, like I said, he probably hasn't slept all night. And there's something weighing on him, obviously. He goes, now, due to issues that have been brought up, this isn't being acted upon immediately. But she'll inform you. And he sets a data slot on the table. And there's 3 warrants for arrest out. For one Joran Star, a one Count Dunk 2, I can't say your last name, and Johnny.
Oh.
Who you pissed off some mighty powerful people with that stunt.
Might I
Oh,
ask, what does the holocron do? Can I be heard? Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, you can be heard.
Matthew.
Technical difficulties.
Matt, Max is just kind of cutting out. Matt can't be heard.
He came back in, or he left to came
Nope.
back.
Back.
Hi.
You're
Yeah,
back.
now
Okay.
you are.
What did I
There
cut
we
off at?
go. You didn't say anything.
Arrest warrant. There's 3
Yeah.
of them.
Oh, good. It cut off for suspense. And he just looked at you, like he said, pissed off some mighty powerful people with a name slip.
That's my fault. Oops.
Johnny's really scratching her
isn't-
brain to see where herself and Count would fit into the equation.
Are you going to ask him? Or
Well, I don't think
No.
he'd had the information, but
Doesn't hurt to ask.
so you just found these bounties just at the Imperial Depot or something?
well, these aren't bounties, these are arrest warrants.
Well, same in effect.
In effect, yes. One's less likely to get you dead, though.
Is it what are they for?
You made the comment on the tower and the craziness. Unfortunately, somebody's name was mentioned, and that somebody was registered on the same ship as 2 others, who matched descriptions of the people there. You 3 were recorded coming in off the same ship.
Ah, so we
You
are
3 have been caught in locations through association. You 3, via name and description, match up. Yet is that minimum enough to issue an arrest warrant for question?
So
But-
what does the holocron do? Diverting away from that in a moment.
Precedence, in our case. They are concerned about this, and I'm greatly concerned why you would be involved with this. But the holocron takes precedence, especially given the description and picture of the individual who's received it. Because you were very, very lucky with the number of injuries that were involved with that building, are very small for what they could have been. And I'll be honest, I don't know how he swung this, but he did. So, does your employer have any other information on this holocron?
We
Do
lost
you
Robert. Hold
have
up.
any other information? Oh,
Assuming he's coming back. Hello again.
yeah, probably.
Ah, yes. So,
Where'd you cut out?
when you were saying talking about a matter of precedence, and our names were associated.
He mentioned you get precedence because very few deaths in actuality and injuries came through the event somehow.
You still haven't answered
So-
the question.
He gets precedence, and as you mentioned, he has no idea how he swung it. Not him, but he was mentioning someone else.
So what?
Any information your employer, you guys have on this thing, the more I get, the more I can throw towards helping you.
Out of care. Do we even know anything?
Not particularly.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
why I'm trying to ask him.
Like, out
What
of
did-
character, I don't fucking think our characters know fucking anything that I know of.
I don't know.
Only one person had the potential to know anything, and that was Trani, and I don't think she might still be able to. It depends on if you still have access, because your datapad can't hold what was in that USB brick, that data brick you found.
Don't remember what I did with that thing. Johnny's a very smart individual. She did something that made sense with it, but I don't. Eric is an idiot. Don't remember.
So what
You
does the
never
hologram
stated, so
do?
I assumed you kept. You said you copied it. I know.
Yes.
So I assumed you left one with Morag and you kept one.
Probably, yeah.
Probably shipped then. No.
In that case, she's, as they're asking for more information, just going to get out the various pieces and parts of it.
Would you have access to it? No. Would you have uploaded it to? Would you have uploaded it to the ship? Because the ship wasn't yours. It was just loaned for the moment.
No, but as you said before, she has various things about her person, and especially now with the mech suit and all that shit, she probably has some pretty sizable storage drives that she can just access.
Yeah, but you haven't been back to the ship to get said brick,
Not the ship, no.
unless you're carrying around a data brick with you.
Honestly, she
And
may be.
that's not it. It's a brick.
Unless it's like...
That's why I'm asking.
But could it, like, fit in the backpack, or side patch, or pouch, or satchel, or something like that?
Backpack maybe. It'd take up a decent bit of room, but backpack, yeah.
If she... I don't see a reason why she wouldn't.
Okay, then yeah. You never told me you left it somewhere, so it's safe to assume as much. What was your question, Robert? Were we deciding on that?
What does the thing do?
We
I've asked
don't
so many
know.
times,
That's
it's
the
been ignored.
problem. That's why we're asking. We don't know. And that is so much cause for...
Problem is, I'm pretty sure I just have info on where it was. I don't think that we have what it's about, but I guess we could hook this up to something and see if I can get it all decrypted.
You may want to start.
You have a secure
There-
computer?
In the lab, yeah. And he's just rubbing his forehead at this point.
Well, then,
There is another source that you guys probably contact at least decently frequently.
No?
I mean, we could contact the Jedi for information on the holocron if they have records.
He lets out a decent, like, you know those hollow laughs, like those kind of bitter laughs?
If they Count is rubbing his forehead at saying this. It's just
They're not going to share any records. We've jailed
Not
too
even-
many of them.
Sorry, James can't help but laugh about Jedi
Not
Sir.
not even if it's for the greater good.
You've seen how passive and blind they can be. You used to be one, you left.
Count's literally rubbing his head just like, I know this is a long shot. This is...
They were contacted. There has been no reply. Honestly, I'm not expecting a reply.
So unprofessional. I'm sorry.
Still ripe with hypocrisy, I see. But anyways,
To the lab.
Yes, let us. And he will lead you guys to the lab, and he'll set you down and just type. If this is a cryptid, you want to get through it as quick as you can. The longer this takes, the less leeway, less leverage we have to keep you here.
Well, now that Johnny is finally, after all this time, able to access a proper computer, let's see what she can do.
For decoding, I think that's just Slicer, isn't it?
I would think so.
Tech decoding.
have some guidance.
I'll accept this.
You have advantage because he's right there next to you helping.
Sure.
He really, really wants information.
What color should I use for my D4? I'm gonna go with purple.
I'm just trying to find a new Dark Lord as hit.
Okay, so with advantage and my D4, that is going to be a 34.
Damn. Oh, wow.
The green die gave me a 19. Purple die gave me a 9. It has betrayed me.
So, this is a lot of data. This is a lot of trawling. This is a lot of decrypting. You guys are going well into the night at this point. And he is chugging coffee like there is no other.
Basically, while they're doing the computer shit, I'm gonna talk to, I'm gonna give a look. Well, he's not gonna notice that I have a helmet on. I'm gonna go to Count and go, I wanna go back to sparring, because this is gonna take a bit. I can see it now.
No,
I want-
you just
I
hear him
want-
as you mention that. Nope, stay.
I want to be here.
I like to
I'll
think that
punch
he's
him in the
needlessly getting a new cup
More.
each time he fills up his coffee thing. So there's just an ever-increasing amount of cups as the timeline goes on.
They may or may not be happening. He has a lot of thermoses.
What's
Digging
Sorceress was
through.
going off her ass this entire time?
Eh,
Sorceress just watching TV in a lounge.
yeah.
Everybody is in that room. He is keeping everybody in range at all times.
I'll
Sources
punch him in the room. I just
best.
want to punch speed. I'm bored.
It's fine. There's a clear space. There is an open space. You can tell it's from where he tested stuff in his lab, and he probably shouldn't have, but he did.
Cool. You want to punch here?
You and Eva can go at it. I'm gonna sit here and look at this.
Ava?
What?
You want to train? Spar? Whatever?
I mean, sure, why not?
Thank God.
So are you guys all sparring where this is happening, or is
Yeah,
if
Ava-
they say Count's right there, right?
Ava and Joran are sparring.
Okay, and Count's right above all the
Yep, counts
where
behind
all
him.
this is happening. Okay.
Counts with him doing the computer stuff.
And Sorcerer's just a piece of poop and just watch.
Say again, you're cutting out on.
It says Sorcerer's just a piece of poop, not doing anything. She's just watching.
Ah,
She can brew coffee to help.
Sorcerer's brewing coffee.
lots and lots of coffee.
You have had practice at coffee before. You are good at it.
I'm good at coffee.
You know what? Let's have fun. Roll for coffee.
Oh no.
Roll for coffee. Add your wisdom. Modifier.
8.
Okay, it's okay coffee.
It's just moderate coffee.
It's
what
enough
they
to
have
keep
on
them
your-
awake. So, trawling through, this is a massive amount of data. You find blackmail, historical artifacts, things from other cordons, tracings of lightsabers that seem to have been like owned by someone famous. But following the trail, trying to follow the Holocron trail, it's one of the deeper areas. It's one of the hardest in the encryptions due to its severity and the attacks that he was expecting from happened. Getting through it, he was trying to trace it back. Like, started tracing, like, how to put it?
Purchase history?
Not necessarily purchase history, but just, like, the effective paper trail, where it's been, where it was, where it came from, trying to find where it was, because if this came from a temple or this came from a certain location, there might be more in that location. This is what he's paid to do. And you watch as he's pinging it back through certain places, certain owners, different, what's it called? Different owners, different locations. Until he finally pings it back, the oldest one he had. Sorry, guys. It's not that one. He found it in a temple. The oldest recorded. It was found on an archaeological dig site, effectively, right? People digging for history found this. Some people might be kind of wishing they hadn't found this.
Is there a
It is
name to
toward
the
what? He doesn't have a name listed. It's just listed as a holocron. It's just holocron digit number afterwards to mark what it is. Where is the planet name? I have so many notes. I am sorry, guys.
Say so we don't have a maker's mark yet.
You don't have a maker's mark yet. Damn. As you're digging through, it's getting late. I will call the session here, as I have seemed to have lost the page. But you're finding a temple or dig site that is underwater of all places,
Oh no.
in an aquatic situation. And we'll start up next
Not
session
Manon?
with the proper.
Are we going to Naboo, home of the bigger fish?
I
Or
don't
Manon.
think so. Might be. Like I said, I am sorry. I apologize.
It's
The-
fine.
A lot of notes in my
There's
notebooks.
Camino, there's Manon, and
We'll,
there's
we'll figure it out.
Naboo.
Yeah. We'll open up next session with the location exactly, but you are aware it is under a temple that was a archaeological dig site underwater. It's an aquatic dig site.
Do you know anything about
It is
this?
the oldest location he could find.
Sounds a lot like Manon.
Well,
It's
then
out of character.
Johnny's gonna look at the individual and go, "Do you know anything about this dig site?"
I heard about the dig site, but nothing came from it that we were recorded.
So it looks like we're gonna have to
It
go
was
check it out ourselves. We're not opposed to
he
contract work
looks
for
actually
you.
stopped. He's just thinking, because it's not as simple as contract work there, Johnny. Though you three have arrest warrants out, we can detain you. This will be a hell of a swing if we have you as contract workers now. I'll make some calls. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, head back to your rooms. Stay there to keep the more hot-headed ones on the level.
I mean, I won't.
Try to teach people patience and things like that here, but some of them are still pretty hot-headed and gung-ho.
I think I
They'll
can.
look at you, recognize the bounty, or the warrant in this case, and go for it.
I think I can speak for everyone whenever I say that I'm sorry that this occurred, but we do want to make it right.
I mean, apparently they knew who I was before I even got here.
Maybe this will teach you not to name drop.
And to you two, no, you do not have warrants out for your arrest. However, you are here by association. And
Which is what
that's
our
more
warrant
than enough for some of these people. You
makes
three
it
are recorded on the same ship. These two came in separately. However, You are known of the same clan. You came in to meet these two.
Well, if they can
It's
get
not enough to
counted
put
on
out something.
association, then who knows what they're gonna do.
Oh, given who you pissed off, they're probably working on a connection as quick as they can.
Who did we piss off?
Woe be unto them if they
Turns
don't
slowly to look at you. Rainland Corporations. The skyscraper that you defaced and tore the top off of.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I did not.
But let's call it on us all just unanimously saying allegedly, after all
Allegedly.
these things were happening.
You get, I will say, you get the deadest of deadpan looks from this man. And that is
Sipping
pretty
coffee.
impressive with how sleep deprived he is.
It's not a lie. I didn't blow it up.
Saoirse! Okay, before anyone can say anything else. Jesus Christ.
It's over.
Okay. Well,
Session end.
anything before we call it?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
A fucking legend.
Well, thanks for coming and hanging out. Are we all good next week?
Fuck yeah.
I'm
I'm
good
not-
for the foreseeable future.
Saturday I'm set for.
Alright, so we should be back next week.
I was talked out of killing people.
It's okay, I still fucked up their shit. But until then,
I know.
be seeing you.